It's time for Medford Rogues baseball as the Rogues take on the best of the West in the Great West League. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen to every Medford Rogues game all season long, live on MedfordRogues.com. Now, it's time for Medford Rogues baseball. Calling all the action tonight, here's Jonathan Kerman.
Welcome to Medford Rogues Baseball on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call with you this evening. Game 2 of a 3-game series between your Medford Rogues and the defending champion Chico Heat here at Nettleton Stadium in Chico, California. Rogues took Game 1 last night by a score of 10-7. Rogues were up big heading into the 9th inning, actually had 2 outs in the inning, before 3 runs came across for the Heat. They had the bases loaded, and Taylor Frost came in relief and retired the last batter. I caught up with Taylor Frost earlier today to talk to him about all things baseball.
Taylor, you have 3 saves on the year. Every game that you've appeared in and gotten a save, you've come in with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs in the inning, and you've gotten out of all of those jams. What's your mindset when you come on to pitch in relief?
Well, stepping on the hill every time is the same thing. You got one guy that you got to deal with, and that's my mindset, just one pitch at a time. Save my players' runs and just go get them.
You're a two-way player. You pitch. You also play in the infield. What do you feel is like your natural position?
I used to think it was hitting, but now that I'm coming off a UCL elbow injury, and now that I'm starting to see more ability for my throwing, I think I'm going to start going that way.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Good luck today.
Thank you.
So that was Taylor Frost. Last night's save went to Frost, his 3rd of the year. Your Rogues come in 16-6. They're winners of 14 of their last 16 games. Chico Heat at 13-9 coming into this one. Rogues wearing their green unis with gray pants. The Chico Heat in all white with these it's like a camo, it may be flame red sleeves. Bottoms of their jersey tops, where the belt meets the top of the jersey, also flames emanating from that. Interesting look. 102 degrees here at Nettleton Stadium right now, so a few degrees cooler than yesterday. It was 108. But doesn't feel much different, I can tell you that. Both teams getting stretched out, both teams hanging out in the small patch of shade that is being cast by one of the big trees out in right field. On the mound for your Medford Rogues tonight, right-handed pitcher Brett Walker. Walker committed to playing for the University of Oregon next year. 6'4", 180-pound right-hander out of Fresno, California. Your starting lineup for the Rogues is as follows. Leading things off, Davis DeLorfis, who went 3 for 5 last night with 3 RBIs. Batting second, Jaden Hanna. Batting third, Eric Yang. Batting cleanup, Alex Isola. Batting fifth, Connor Lowry. Batting sixth, Jake Helwig. Batting seventh, Johnny De La Cruz. Batting eighth is Josh Berman. And rounding out the order for the Rogues, Braden Stutzman. They will face right-handed pitcher Justin Watland of the Chico Heat. Watland from Reno, Nevada, pitches for Feather River Community College. Watland also a big right-hander, 6'4", 190 pounds. Just a few minutes away from getting underway here at Nettleton Stadium. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us here on the live stream. Yes, April, that's correct. It appears that we do have a cold front moving in, down to a chilly 102 degrees, just a few minutes away from first pitch. some interesting things to watch for in this game. In that dicey last inning, last night, catcher Jake Davison of the Chico Heat got hit after fouling off 7 consecutive pitches. Some words were exchanged between Davison, catcher Eric Yang, and eventually the coaches got involved. The dugouts were chirping at each other. Warnings were issued to both dugouts by the home plate umpire. So we will see what, if anything, comes of that. I don't think Davison was hit intentionally. He represented the tying run. And after fouling off 6, 7, 8 pitches, last thing you want to do is hit a guy when you've battled so hard. But Davison didn't feel that way. He certainly did get hit. It was a fastball on the hip. It must have hurt. But it's clear that there is no love lost between these two teams. They faced each other in the championship series back in 2016. We're just a few minutes from getting underway here at Nettleton Stadium. I'm Jonathan Kerman. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Now time for the Valley Immediate Care pregame injury report. Valley Immediate Care is a proud sponsor of our Rogues broadcast team. Valley Immediate Care has locations in both North and South Medford, Ashland, Grants Pass, and Brookings, offering urgent care, occupational health, physicals, laser services, and more. Head to valley-ic.com for more information. Liam Kent, nursing some sore ribs, and DJ Wilson, nursing a sore shoulder, did not make the trip. Those two, along with Jordan Reagan, who is back at home, resting a sore left throwing elbow. Rounding out the pregame injury report is Dante Gutierrez, who took a ball while out in the field practicing, warming up to play the inning. Took it to the left eye, swollen up. The swelling has gone down significantly. He's considered day-to-day. We're just a few minutes away here from getting this one underway. The defensive alignments for the Chico Heat is as follows. Catching Justin Watland is Joe Bath. At third, Brandon De La Guardia. At short, Garrett Heisinger. At second, Justin Watari. And at first, Marcus Wilhite. In the outfield, same as yesterday, in left, Garrett Kelly. In center, Tanner Tokunaga, who made a few terrific plays out in center yesterday. And in right, Cole Lemmel. So interesting shadows to get things started here at Nettleton Stadium. That big tree out in right that the teams were warming up under, casting a shadow right over the infield. Just about the entire infield dirt is in shade. In shade. Rest of the ballpark is in sun. Not till you get far out into center and right center field where some more shadows come into play. The umpires for tonight's game at home is Justin Havey, and the field ump is Cecil Felkins. The Rogues would like to thank our friends at Avista. Serving Medford since 1906, Avista has created opportunities, sparked imaginations, and fueled innovation. Today, as they celebrate more than a century of service, the folks at Avista are committed as ever to helping the communities that they serve to grow and prosper. Head to avistautilities.com. All right, we're just about ready. Davis DeLorfis coming up, stepping into the batter's box. DeLorfis, the right-handed batter, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Leading off for the Rogues, shortstop number 18, Davis DeLorfis.
You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. First pitch by Watland. Swung on and hit to the left side of the field. A diving attempt by Heisinger, the shortstop, not going to get there. One pitch, one hit for the Rogues. DeLorfis leads things off. 102 degrees here in Chico. The players, both the Rogues and the Chico Heat players in the dugout, were getting sprayed by the on-field staff. They had water guns. I'm sure both teams appreciated that. Stepping up now is Jaden Hanna, who is swinging a big bat for the Rogues. Made good contact on every ball he hit last night. Hanna from Portland, Oregon. Bats left, throws right, 5'6", 170. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Just getting underway here at Nettleton Stadium. DeLorfis at first, led things off with a single. And they're going to throw over to first. DeLorfis back in time. Thank you, Ariana and the Eisenberg family, for joining us. And thank you, Eisenbergs, for letting me know that Jake Gazzo, also on the pregame injury report. Another throw over to first. DeLorfis back in time. I will add that to my notes. And I'm sure the Rogues miss Gazzo's bat, but they are stacked with talent at the plate, up and down this lineup. Here's the pitch to Hanna. Taken for a ball, 1-1 the count. Waiting on deck, Eric Yang, who is getting his first look at first base tonight. Justin Watland getting the sign from Joe Bath. DeLorfis takes his lead. Here's the pitch. That is going to be a called strike. Hanna didn't like it, but it's 1-2. No one out here top of the first inning. Here at Nettleton Stadium. Watland kicks the rubber. Now comes set. DeLorfis stepping off from first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, bounced way in front of the plate. 2-2 the count.
You sitting in right now on that broadcast?
2-2 the count to Jaden Hanna. Still nobody out on top of the first inning. Here's the pitch. That ball swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Hanna goes down swinging, and that'll bring up Eric Yang.
Next up, first baseman number 36, Eric Yang.
Eric Yang joined the team just a few games ago. I believe this is his 6th game as a Rogue. From West Hills, California, playing for UC Santa Barbara in the fall. Right-handed batter takes first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. DeLorfis at first, 1 out here. 0-1 the count to Eric Yang. Coming into the game batting .524. Here's the pitch. Curveball that catches the inside part of the plate. Eric Yang takes a step back. Recollect himself, readjust the batting gloves. 0-2 the count. Waiting on deck, Alex Isola, the DH. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside. Great crowd tonight on a Friday night here at Nettleton Stadium. The heat won't keep these fans from watching their heat. 1-2. Throw over to first. DeLorfis back in time. Just 1 out, top of the first inning. DeLorfis led things off with a single. Eric Yang waits. Here's the pitch. That ball is hit to the left side of the field. The third baseman, De La Guardia, fires it over to second in time to get 1. Over to first in time to double up Eric Yang. So that'll do it for the Rogues in the top of the first inning. We head to the home half of the first. No score here. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score here. On the mound for your Rogues, Brett Walker. Walker committed to playing to the University of Oregon next year. Defensive positioning for the Rogues is as follows. Catching Brett Walker is Braden Stutzman, who gets his first look behind the plate tonight. At first base is Eric Yang, getting his first look at first base. At second, Jaden Hanna. At third, Josh Berman. At short, Davis DeLorfis. The outfield is the same battery of Johnny De La Cruz, Connor Lowry, and Jake Helwig. We have a special guest here in the broadcast booth with us. Rogues pitcher Jaden France joining us for a few innings, getting out of the heat, I'm sure. How's it going, Jaden?
It's going good. It's interesting to be up here, but this is a good day for baseball. Looking forward to it.
First pitch from Walker is fastball just outside, 0-1. I imagine the view from up here is a little different than the view from the dugout.
Most definitely. I've never actually been in the press box before, so this is kind of a first.
All right. Next pitch, swinging by Tokunaga. Up the middle for a hit. Tanner Tokunaga made some big plays in last night's game, getting things started for the Chico Heat. That'll bring up the second baseman, Justin Watari. Batting lineup for the Chico Heat is as follows. Tokunaga led things off with a single. Now at the plate, Justin Watari, the left-handed batter. Batting third, Garrett Kelly. Batting cleanup, Marcus Wilhite. Batting fifth, Cole Lemmel. Sixth is Jack Rodeville. Batting seventh, Grant Heisinger, the shortstop. Batting eighth, Joe Bath. First pitch showing bunt. It's popped up in the air and caught by Brett Walker. So a failed bunt attempt by Justin Watari cannot move Tokunaga over. And that'll bring up Garrett Kelly. Heisinger batting 7th, Joe Bath, the catcher, batting 8th, and rounding out the order for the Heat, Brandon De La Guardia. So that'll bring up Garrett Kelly, the left fielder. Garrett Kelly is kind of the Heat version of Eric Yang for the Rogues. Kelly playing in just his 5th game as a Heat, but is batting .615 with 8 hits in just these 4 games. First pitch swinging by Kelly, hits it to right field. Going back on it is Jake Helwig, still going back, makes the catch. Takunaga will have to retreat back to first, just like that, 2 out. Great jump by Jake Helwig on that ball.
Great first step.
So that'll bring up Marcus Wilhite. Wilhite batting just .213 on the year. Has played in every single game for the Heat this season. Tokunaga at first led things off with a single in this inning. Here's the first pitch. High and outside, ball 1. So, Jaden, how do you prepare differently as a pitcher when you know you're going to be playing in 100-plus degree heat?
You definitely don't want to burn yourself out early. That's the key.
1-0 pitch in the dirt, 2-0 the count. Tokunaga does not advance.
It's just a matter of shortening your routine up. You don't want to overheat too early. So if you do long toss, you might want to, instead of doing 5 throws from a long distance, you want to do like 2. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to speed it up. I know going up against the Gold Sox the other day, I shortened up mine a bunch.
Next pitch swinging fouled back was Marcus Wilhite. Count is 2-1.
Yeah, but, a lot of us were kind of prepared for this kind of heat, especially, when you're in high school. Guys coming out of high school, they played those circuits in Arizona and such, and they're really used to this heat, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Next pitch, high and outside. That's going to get away from Braden Stutzman. Tokunaga advances on the wild pitch. Stutzman tipped his glove on the ball. Rolls back to the backstop. So the Heat now have a runner in scoring position, but 2 out. 3-1 the count to Marcus Wilhite. Waiting on deck, Cole Lemmel.
No need to give in here on Wilhite. 3-1, 2 outs, open bag.
You're looking to attack here?
Definitely.
That pitch is high and outside, ball 4. So Wilhite earns the walk. That'll bring up Cole Lemmel. We have some fans saying hi to you back at home.
How's it going, everybody?
It's always great to hear you guys on the chat. And we have a really unique opportunity here on this broadcast, being able to interact with those of you at home who are listening to us. Here's the first pitch to Cole Lemmel. High, ball 1. So, Jaden, who is your team in the majors? Who do you follow?
I'm a big Cleveland Indians fan. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. Was raised there for, not too long. I don't really remember living there, but
Next pitch is a curveball that catches the inside part of the plate. Great pitch by Brett Walker. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, definitely an Indians fan. So, yeah, last year I was pretty heartbroken, but, it is what it is, and you got to tip your cap to the Cubs. So
it was an incredible series, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Next pitch is inside. 2-1. Squirts away from Stutzman, but not too far. No advancement on the play. 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. Runners on first and second for the Heat. 2-1 the count to Cole Lemmel.
Hi, Owen.
Here's the next pitch. Curveball just misses high. Running the count 3-1. The viewership that we get on these streams, it blows me away every single time out. It really is an honor to bring Rogues Baseball to you. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Running the count full. Did you have a favorite player growing up?
Well, shoot, when I was younger, I was a shortstop, so I was a big Barry Larkin fan.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching Barry Larkin play.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off the first base side.
His main thing was, making routine plays routinely. And, you know, that's something I've kind of carried into my career. Even pitching, like, you know, it's not necessarily a make everything look easy type thing, but it is a, you know, just handle stuff professionally and do it consistent enough and make sure you're prepared. So
business as usual. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Brett Walker gets Cole Lemmel swinging to end the inning. So the Heat leave 2. We head to the top of the second inning. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Joining me, Rogues pitcher Jaden France. If you have any questions for him, let us know on the live chat. We'll be back right after this. The Rogues would like to thank our friends at Fred Meyer. Thanks to our friends at Fred Meyer, the Rogues will be offering specially priced family ticket packages for each of the Sunday home games. That's 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 fountain drinks, and 4 souvenir baseballs for just $44. And these ticket packages are only offered at each of the 3 local Rogue Valley Fred Meyers. You can't get these at the ballpark, so visit your local Rogue Valley Fred Meyer today. We're back with Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Top of the second inning, leading things off for the Rogues. DHing tonight, Alex Isola takes ball 1. And joining me on the broadcast, Rogues pitcher Jaden France. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit foul off the third base side. So to go over the injury report again, Liam Kent nursing some sore ribs, DJ Wilson a hurt throwing shoulder, and Jordan Reagan with a sore elbow. Also Dante Gutierrez with a swollen eye, left eye. Next pitch is hit well to right field. Going back on it is Cole Lemmel. He will make the catch just in front of the warning track for the first out of the second inning. So that'll bring up Connor Lowry, who leads the Great West League with RBIs, has 24 on the year. Here's the first pitch. Way high, ball 1. 1 out, top of the second inning. No score here at Nettleton. Swing and a miss by Connor Lowry. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to call to Lowry. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. One and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. So Lowry goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Jake Helwig. Left-handed batter, pitch way inside, and it hit him. So Jake Helwig on the first pitch he sees gets hit with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Johnny De La Cruz.
Now batting for the Rogues, left fielder number 2, Johnny De La Cruz.
De La Cruz went 1 for 4 last night. Here's the pitch, De La Cruz. First pitch swinging, hit to right field, coming on and going to make the play is Cole Lemmel for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Rogues strand 1 on the hit by pitch by Jake Helwig. We head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. The Rogues like to thank our friends at Morton's Family Dining and Bar. Morton's offers something for everyone. Morton's has a full sports bar, a separate family dining side of the restaurant, and even delivery. Check out their website, mortons.com. That's Morton's with 2 R's. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We are in the bottom of the 2nd inning, no score. Leading things off for the Heat, Jack Rodeville takes a first pitch strike from Brett Walker, 0-1. 1 hit for each team so far in this one. Here's the 0-1 from Walker. Swung on and hit over the second baseman Hannah's head. That is going to be picked off by Connor Lowry. He's going to hold Rodeville to a single. Great play by Lowry out there in center field, preventing that ball from getting to the wall. And holding Rodeville to just a single. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Grant Heisinger.
Now batting for the Heat, shortstop from
Heisinger, batting .258 in 9 games this season, has 8 hits and 7 runs, just 3 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch. Heisinger shows bunt, fouled it back, 0-1. Stutzman catching for Brett Walker, his first appearance behind the plate for the Rogues this season. He actually caught for his school in the fall. Here's the next pitch. That one is hit well to left field, but coming on and going to make the catch is Johnny De La Cruz. Heading back to first is Rodeville. So that'll bring up the catcher, Joe Bath. Joe Bath batting .311 in 16 games. Has 14 hits, 12 runs, 11 walks, and 3 stolen bases. So Stutzman is the 4th catcher on the roster for the Rogues, besides Dante Gutierrez, Alex Isola, and Eric Yang, who's now playing first. First pitch swinging by Joe Bath, foul back, 0-1 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, no score. Runner on first, that was Jack Rodeville, who led the inning off with a single. Brett Walker walking up, steps on the rubber, gets the sign from Stutzman. Here's the pitch. High, ball 1. Evens the count 1 apiece, 1 out, bottom of the 2nd inning. Jack Rodeville at first. Waiting on deck, Brandon De La Guardia. Here's the pitch to Joe Bath. Curveball in there for a strike. Another great off-speed pitch by Brett Walker. Thank you so much for the kind words on the YouTube chat. 1-2 the count. The pitch is way inside. Barely missed him. Running it even 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Rodeville going, swung on and missed, strike 3. No throw on the play. Stutzman couldn't make the transfer. Rodeville walked back to first base. He thought that ball was fouled. Dugout yelling at him to get back at second. He does. There was no throw on the play. That could have been interesting. But it's a stolen base for Rodeville. Second strikeout victim for Brett Walker was Joe Bath. That'll bring up the third baseman, Brandon De La Guardia. De La Guardia batting .291 in 15 games. He takes a first pitch ball. 1-0 the count. Right-hander Brett Walker wearing shin-high black socks. Here's the pitch. Swung on hit to the third baseman, Berman. Berman over to first in time to retire LaGuardia. The Heat leave 1. We head to the top of the third inning. No score here at Nettleton Stadium. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. We head to the top of the third inning. Your Rogues are all tied with the Chico Heat. No score yet here at Nettleton. Leading things off in the inning, playing third base tonight, right-handed batter Josh Berman. Josh Berman went 2 for 4 last night, batting .250 coming into this one. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Next pitch swung on, hit well to right field. Not well, excuse me. Shallow pop fly caught by the right fielder Lemmel for the first out of the inning.
You got 2,000 people in the crowd. You got a bunch of absorption tools. All right.
So quickly 1 out here in the top of the third inning for the Rogues. That'll bring up the catcher, Braden Stutzman. Stutzman getting his first appearance at catcher tonight. He actually catches for the University of Oregon out of Twin Falls, Idaho. He's the 4th catcher on the roster for the Rogues. That pitch is fouled off the first base side. 0-1 the count. Waiting on deck, top of the order, Davis DeLorphis. Battle of the top 2 teams here. Great West League. Your Medford Rogues in first. Chico Heat in second place. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. So 0-2, 1 out, nobody on for the Rogues. Top of the 3rd inning, no score.
YOUSEF.
Stutzman. That pitch is high. 1-2 the count.
Yosef. Catch of the day.
Stutzman, the left-handed batter, waits in on the 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Justin Watland. Off-speed pitch that gets away from Watland. That one was over everyone's head. Count is even at 2-2.
Kevin, where you at?
I do not know why Caleb Smith is being recorded as the pitcher on record. It is definitely Brett Walker. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3 by Braden Stutzman. There were some jersey switches that did happen from earlier in the season till now. Players come, players go, numbers switch around. But everything is updated correctly in point streak, so I'm not sure why Caleb Smith is getting the record for these innings, but it is Brett Walker on the mound. First pitch to DeLorphis, who led things off with a single, has the lone hit for the Rogues in this game, takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. 0-1 the count to DeLorphis. Here's the pitch. That ball outside, 1-1 the count. DeLorphis from Salt Lake City, Utah. Waits on the pitch. Here it comes. That one is a fastball just outside. 1-2 the count. Excuse me, 2-1 the count. Apologize. 2 balls, 1 strikes to Davis DeLorphis. 2 out, top of the 3rd inning, no one on for the Rogues. Swung on and hit foul off the first base side. Into the batting cages. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the live stream. Some shade being thrown by Dex Smith. I'll have to let Caleb know. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 3, and DeLorphis runs the count full. So a little bit of confusion on point streak. It is Brett Walker on the mound. I think the issue arose because Caleb Smith was wearing Brett Walker's number. 3-2 pitches, low, ball 4. DeLorphis reaches for the 2nd time today. And that'll bring up Jaden Hanna, who struck out back in the 1st inning. Caleb Smith actually been playing a lot of outfield for the Rogues and doing a really good job. He's mostly come on as defensive replacements in later innings, and he's been tested. Both in the Marysville series and last night against Chico. He actually recorded the final out on a tough slicing ball hit to him in left field. Got a great jump on it and made the catch to end the game. Here's Jaden Hanna with DeLorphis at first, 2 outs. First pitch swinging, that is going to be right at the shortstop, Grant Heisinger, to end it for the Rogues. They leave 1. We head to the home half of the 3rd inning. No score. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. Bottom of the third inning, no score here in Chico. Brett Walker is on the mound for your Rogues tonight. We're working on getting that switched in point streak to reflect what is actually happening on the field. His first pitch to the leadoff man, Tokunaga, is fouled back 0-1. The next pitch in there for a strike. Just called outside. 1-1 the count to Tokunaga, who led the game off for the Heat with a single. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1 the count. Two and one the count to Tokunaga. Here it is. Swung on to the third baseman. Nice pick by Josh Berman over that third. Fires the accurate throw to Eric Yang at first to retire Tokunaga. Great stop by Josh Berman over at third base. That'll bring up the second baseman, Justin Watari. First pitch to Watari is outside, ball one.
Yeah, shoot.
One out, bottom of the third inning. No score here at Nettleton. Brett Walker pitching for your Rogues. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate. 1-1 the count.
Kate Olson.
Those of you following along on point streak, it shows Caleb Smith is pitching, but it is actually Brett Walker. That next pitch is outside. 2-1 the count. I've notified the point streak guy. There's something going on. The database hasn't been updated on point streak. No one's fault, at least nothing that we can do here, but the change has been recorded. Next pitch is outside, so now the count is 3-1 to Justin Watari. Waiting on deck is Garrett Kelly. I know how important it is to make sure that point streak is right. Coaches, scouts, both the Rogues coaches and the players' coaches on their college teams rely on those stats. That pitch is in there, a called strike, running the count full. Now we have a lot of guys who are on a pitch limit, who are recovering from injury for one reason or another. Want to make sure that those stats are 100% accurate. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on and fouled back just on top of the Rogues dugout.
That foul ball brought to you by Casino 99, your home for blackjack in Chico.
So we'll do this again. Justin Watari, the left-handed batter, locked in a battle with the right-handed pitcher, Brett Walker. 3-2 pitch is hit to the shortstop. Bounces up on DeLorfis. That's going to hit off his body and into center field. So an error to DeLorfis. And Watari is aboard. Some really difficult shadows in the infield, especially the middle infield. The batter's box is in shadows. From the pitching mound out to the infield dirt is in sun, and then when you get back to the dirt, it's in shade again. So some really tricky shadow play. It's not got to be easy to follow a ball that's hit to you. But it'll go as an error. First pitch is way outside. Back picked. Safe. Great move by Braden Stutzman trying to back pick Justin Watari, but he is back in safely. Stutzman actually used the pitch. It was outside to his right and just used that momentum to fire over to first. Great play by Stutzman, but Watari back in time. Oh, and now there's a pickoff throw over to first, and Yang took a tumble over Watari as he dove back in safely. It's actually a great play by Eric Yang. He was falling over when he made the catch, and that could have been trouble. Ball's in fair play. It doesn't matter if you fall down or not. 1-0 the count to Garrett Kelly. Watari is at first, and now Walker will step off the mound. Eric Yang getting his first look at first base for the Rogues this season. Braden Stutzman getting his first look behind the plate this season for the Rogues. 1-0 the count, one out, runner on first here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the pitch from Walker. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Walker gets the sign from Braden Stutzman. looks over at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball just low. Some chirping from the Rogues dugout. There was some issue with the called balls and strikes last night. Actually ended up getting warnings issued. Well, the fourth or fifth time I've messed that up. I don't know why that trips me up so much. 2-1 the count to Garrett Kelly. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? No, says the field ump. So 3-1 now to Garrett Kelly. Garrett Kelly from Hollister, California, plays for UC Davis. Right-handed batter standing in at 6 foot 180. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, hit it. Going to be just fair over the third base line. That's going to be trouble. De La Cruz picks it off. Watari is going to be waved home. Here's the pitch. The throw home is not going to be safe. Not going to be in time, excuse me. So an RBI double for Garrett Kelly. He continues to swing a hot bat. Came into this game hitting .615 with 5 RBI in 4 games. You can now make that 6 RBI in 5 games. And the Rogues blink first. The Heat score. It's an unearned run to Brett Walker because Watari reached on the error. But the run counts. RBI for Garrett Kelly, and that'll bring up Marcus Wilhite with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Wilhite, the left-handed batter. Walker will step off the mound, wipe his hand, now sets back in. Here's the pitch from Walker. Just high, ball 1. So 1-0 the count.
I got a birthday for you, Brad.
1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Garrett Kelly at second drove home Justin Watari from first. Here's the pitch to Wilhite. That one's hit well to center field. Going back on it is Connor Lowry. He will make the catch. Running on the play, tagging and going to make it in safely to third base is Kelly. So Wilhite moves over Kelly on the sacrifice. And that'll bring up Cole Lemmel. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman with you on the call for tonight and tomorrow night, which will be the last game of a 3-game series between these Heat and your Rogues. Here's the first pitch to Lemmel. That one's high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Waiting on Jack Rodeville, who led off the 2nd inning with a single. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Gets away from Stutzman, but not too far. Kelly not moving. Evens the count at 1 apiece.
Okay, don't forget if you see Buffalo Wild Wings guys, let me know.
So Justin Watari reached on an error earlier in this inning, and that ends up burning the Rogues because Garrett Kelly doubled him in. Kelly now at third. Here's the pitch to Lemmel, and that one hits him. It was an off-speed pitch that hit Lemmel. Don't think there was anything intentional or malicious about that pitch. But he is on base. Runners at the corners now for the Heat. Jack Rodeville plays for Folsom Lake College out of Roseville, California. Right-handed batter, 6'1", 190. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Chico up just 1, but runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. That one's inside, 1-0. Brett Walker looking to get out of this jam. No earned runs charged to Walker so far, but Garrett Kelly, 90 feet from home, is Walker's responsibility. Walker looks at third, now comes home. That ball is low. 2-0 the count now. Runners at the corners, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Brett Walker trying to get out of this. Gets the sign from Stutzman. Here's the windup and the pitch. That ball is hit to the shortstop. DeLorfis makes the play over to first in time to retire Rodeville. 1 run does come across for the Heat, but they strand 2. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Heat on top of the Rogues, 1-0. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back. Your Rogues are up to bat right after this. For over 60 years, Lippert's Carpet One has been dedicated to helping people find the best flooring solutions for their home or business. And for over 60 years, Lippert's has sponsored and donated to many organizations in our community, and we appreciate them. If you want to completely transform a room, Lippert's has many products available, and there are more choices than ever. Whether for your home or business, Lippert's has a professional staff dedicated to helping you find just what you are looking for. Lippert's thanks you for over 60 years of being your flooring source. Located in Medford on North Pacific Highway or Rogue River Highway in Grants Pass, or find them at lipperts.com.
We're back on the road with the Rogues. Take the Rogues with you by following along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. First pitch swinging by Eric Yang to lead off the top of the 4th inning for the Rogues. Fouled off. 0-1 the count. No score until the Heat scrapped one unearned run, back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Next pitch to Yang is low, ball 1. So the Heat are on top, 1-0. But still plenty of ball game left to be played in this one. Here's the pitch to Eric Yang. That one is in there for a strike. Running the count to 1-2. Up to bat for the Rogues is Eric Yang, Alex Isola, and Connor Lowry. Heart of the order. Here's the pitch from Justin Watland. Swung on foul back. Yang staying alive.
Brought to you by Strati, the best technology company on the planet. Located right here in Chico.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Rogues. 1 run that's unearned. 3 hits for the Heat. 1-2 the count to Eric Yang. Here's the pitch. High, 2-2 the count. No one on, no one out here. Top of the 4th inning. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the top 2 teams in the Great West League. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Yang. Swung on, hit softly to the shortstop, Grant Heisinger. Heisinger fields it cleanly, fires it over to the first baseman, Will Height, in time for the first out of the inning.
Next up for the Rogues, designated hitter, number 24.
So that'll bring up Alex Isola, who is the DH for the Rogues tonight. Alex Isola also playing for University of Utah, like Davis DeLorfis, who led things off for the Rogues in this game with a single but would not come around to score. No one on, 1 out for the Rogues. Isola at the plate. Here's his first pitch. down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Isola from Lincoln, California. Right-handed batter, 6'1", 205. Here's the 1-0. Just outside. It's a fastball. 2-0 the count. Waiting on deck, the center fielder and RBI leader for the Great West League, Connor Lowry. Here's the 2-0 to Isola. Swung on and missed. Great changeup by Justin Watland. Isola couldn't lay off. No one on, 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Isola. That one is hit sharply. It's going to be fair down the third base line. That's going to be extra bases for Alex Isola. Going to roll all the way to the wall. Alex Isola in there with a stand-up double in there easily. Was a hanging breaking ball, and Isola knew what to do with it. Smoked one down the third base line. So the Rogues have the tying run in scoring position. And who would you rather have up than the RBI leader for the Great West League, Connor Lowry? Coming into this game with 24 runs batted in, that's 5 more than the next guy on the list. Wallen steps off the mound, now comes back set. 1 out, Isola at second. Rogues trailing 1-0. Lowry at the dish, trying to change that. Here's the pitch to Lowry. Fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Waiting on Jack, the left-handed batter, Jake Helwig. Connor Lowry batting from the right side of the plate. Open stance. Active bat. Here's the pitch. Another fastball low. 2-0 the count. So hitters count to Connor Lowry with Alex Isola, the tying run, on second base. 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on, missed. Another good changeup from Justin Watland that the Rogues could not lay off. Count is now 2-1. Wallen looks back, now comes home. Another swing and a miss by Lowry. Running the count to 2-2. The next guy up on the RBI list, Jack Rodeville of the Chico Heat with 19. Right behind him is Davis DeLorfis with 18. Here's the pitch to Lowry that is swung on, fouled back off the first base side. And we'll do this again.
The best shop in Chico.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Isola on second. Top of the 4th inning. Your Rogues are trailing 1-0 here at Nettleton Stadium in Chico, California. Wallen looks back again, now comes home. Ball in the dirt, bounced in the grass in front of the batter's box. Gets by the catcher, Joe Bath, and advancing on the play is Alex Isola. So now the tying run just 90 feet from home for the Rogues. And Lowry has worked himself a full count. Just 1 out here. Waiting on deck, Jake Helwig. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Connor Lowry. In the dirt, gets by the catcher, but not far enough. So Lowry works himself a walk. And that will bring up Jake Helwig.
Next up for Medford, right fielder number 27.
Helwig went 3 for 5 last night. All 3 of his hits to the right side of the field, all singles through the infield. Grounders that just got by the right side of the Heat infield. So Alex Isola at third, Connor Lowry at first. Jake Helwig, who was hit by a pitch back in the second inning, steps up, looking to swing the bat. Left-handed batter, tall man, waits on the pitch, and it's going to be a look over at third, over at first, nothing doing. All the Rogues back safely. Here's the first pitch to Jake Helwig of the fourth inning. Swung on, hit to the right side of the infield. That's going to be an RBI for Jake Helwig. So just like last night, Jake Helwig hits a single, a grounder through the right side of the infield. It scores a run. That was Alex Isola, who had a double earlier in the inning, and the Rogues have tied it here in the top of the fourth inning, knotted up at 1. Lowry advances to second on the RBI single by Jake Helwig. Stepping in now, Johnny De La Cruz, who flew out to right field to end the second inning. 2 on, 1 out for the Rogues, looking for more. 1 run already across. Here's the pitch. Off speed in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Justin Watland on the mound for the Heat. Gives up the first earned run of the game. Heat scored an unearned run back in the third inning. Watland looks back at second, now comes home. Swung on, hit down the first base line, but foul. De La Cruz quickly down 0-2.
Now on Channel 12, as Lee Carroll will be reporting on the game.
Getting a video broadcast for you guys is absolutely something that we will look into next year. Maybe, just maybe, no promises, but we might implement it for the playoffs. I'm sure the acting general manager, Carolyn Birch, is pulling her hair out right now that I would promise such a thing. No promises. 0-2 the count to De La Cruz. In the dirt, 1-2. Wouldn't be too difficult to get a video broadcast up for you guys. The real issue comes with the Wi-Fi connection that we have. And it's one thing to have audio cut in and out, but to watch video that is stuttering, I mean, it's very frustrating. Here's the pitch. Low, 2-2 now. So De La Cruz, after falling behind 0-2, evens the count now, full. Sorry, 2-2. I even get a chance to say that the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on for the Rogues. De La Cruz at the plate, Lowry at second, Helwig at first. 1 run already across, looking for more. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. De La Cruz just got a piece of that one to stay alive. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Heat. Again, I appreciate all the kind words from those of you at home. I'm so excited to be here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Johnny De La Cruz. A great off-speed pitch by Justin Watland that De La Cruz could not lay off. It's the 4th strikeout for Justin Watland. And that'll bring up Josh Berman. And we're actually going to have a quick conversation on the mound with the Heat pitching coach. And that gives me a second to talk to you guys about Hellgate Jet Boats. Located just 5 minutes from the I-5 in Grants Pass, Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions is the only place you need to go for the ultimate Rogue River experience. Jet through historic Hellgate Canyon, lounge at the exclusive OK Corral, and feast on all-you-can-eat homemade barbecue. Visit www.hellgate.com to book your experience today. So Connor Lowry at second, he walked. Jake Helwig at first had an RBI single, drove home Alex Isola, who doubled earlier in this inning. 2 outs for the Rogues. Stepping in is Josh Berman.
Heat thing all set up. Okay, so are we doing Tony Hawk next? Or are we doing Race the Mountain?
Watland looks back at second, now comes home. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Waiting on deck, playing catcher this evening, Braden Stutzman. And the catcher, Joe Bath, going to go and have another conversation with Justin Watland, I'm sure, to go over the signs. Oh, and 1 the count to Josh Berman. Connor Lowry at second, Jake Helwig at first. 1-1 game. Alex Isola already home in this inning. Rogues are looking to take the lead here. Berman waiting on the 0-1 pitch. Watland is set. Looks back at second, now comes home. High and outside. Evening the count, 1 apiece. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Watland deals, swung on, that's going to go through the left side of the infield. Hogan is giving Connor Lowry the green light. Here's the play at the plate. It's going to be not in time. The throw was on time, but just a little high. The catcher, Joe Bath, had to make a jumping catch just to make the play. Connor Lowry is in safely. Looks a little shaken up. Walking back to the dugout, getting high fives from the Rogues Ball Club. The Rogues take the lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Back-to-back RBI singles by Jake Helwig and Josh Berman. Very close play at home, but Lowry in safely. Helwig advancing to second on the play, and that'll bring up the catcher, Braden Stutzman. Fans, if you haven't followed along on our newsletter or on social media, we have announced a free Big League Summer League camp available to all kids of all skill levels. Braden Stutzman waits. 2 on, 2 out still for the Rogues. 2-1 game. That first pitch is low. Ball 1. Just announced earlier today, Friday, July 7th, from 1 to 4 p.m., courtesy of Cascade Athletic Supply and Drager Construction. Want to know the count to Stutzman. He hits that one over the shortstop's head. Hogan is giving Helwig the green light home. He's going to score. Berman on the way to third. And now 3 runs have come across for the Rogues. That is Braden Stutzman who got the RBI single. So now 3 RBI singles in this inning. Some scrappy hitting by the Rogues. Jake Helwig coming home. Josh Berman over to third. Braden Stutzman with the RBI single. Rogues are on top 3-1 here, top of the 4th inning. And that will turn the lineup over for Davis DeLorfis. All of these hits, well, sorry about that, 2 of these hits coming with 2 outs. So some situational clutch hitting for the Rogues when they need it. They're up 2. First pitch swinging by DeLorfis. Missing at it. Gets down on one knee. 0-1 the count. 2 outs. Runners on the corners for the Rogues. Top of the 4th inning. 3 already across. Here's the 0-1 pitch to DeLorfis. Swung on, hit softly. It's up off the catcher's mitt, but played nicely by the shortstop, Grant Heisinger, to retire Davis DeLorfis. But 3 runs do come across. Isola, Lowry, and Helwig all come home on RBI singles by Helwig, Josh Berman, and Braden Stutzman. We head to the home half of the 4th inning. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. So earlier in the inning, I was talking to you guys about a free Big League camp on July 7th. That's a Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Presented by Cascade Athletic Supply and Draeger Construction. All ages are welcome. It's an all-skills camp. All participants get a t-shirt, a lunch, a VIP pass to watch your Rogues take batting practice, a pregame player meet and greet, and a ticket to that night's game versus the Lincoln Potters. You can visit our website, medfordrogues.com, or give us a call, 541-973-2883, to reserve your spot. Walk-ups are welcome as well. Again, July 7th, that's a Friday, from 1 to 4 p.m., a free Big League camp, all skills, all ages, all are welcome. Brought to us by our friends at Cascade Athletic Supply and Draeger Construction. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Just got settled into the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch swinging by Grant Heisinger, flies out to Johnny De La Cruz in left. So already we have one out here, bottom of the fourth inning. We have a special treat for you guys. Sammy Costello, one of the Rogues interns and community relations coordinator for the Medford Rogues, is here with us. First pitch to Joe Bath is a called ball.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Always glad to have friends on the broadcast. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Your Rogues are on top 3-1. They scored 3 in the top of this inning thanks to RBI singles by Jake Helwig, Josh Berman, and Braden Stutzman. 2 of those 3 hits coming with 2 outs, so some clutch hitting by the Rogues. Next pitch is swung on, softly fouled back by Joe Bath. Count runs to 2-1. So I was just telling the folks at home about the free Big League camp on July 7th. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled sharply back off the first base side.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to try out this year. We want to get the community more involved with the Rogues, bringing out more kids that may not have the opportunity to come out to camps in general. And so we figured, hey, why not get some sponsors and throw together a free camp for everyone?
Should be a really fun day. Brett Walker takes a step off the rubber, now comes set.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-hour camp. We're going to have the kids watch BP afterwards.
That pitch is swung on, hit to the shortstop, Delorfus, ranging over to his left. Makes the great play over to Eric Yang at first to retire Joe Bath for the second out of the fourth inning. So that'll bring up Brandon De La Guardia, who grounded out to the third baseman, Josh Berman. Berman made a great play at third. It was a sharply hit ball that he backpicked on the short hop. Delivered the accurate throw over to Yang in time to get LaGuardia. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth inning. Rogues are on top 3-1 over the Chico Heat here at Nettleton Stadium in Chico, California. Here's the first pitch from Walker. Low and away, ball 1. I mean, what a treat this camp will be. A free all-skills camp with professional. Next pitch is low and outside, 2-0. Professional scout, Jeff Lyle.
Yeah, that's right.
Rogues players. On top of that, free T-shirt, lunch, VIP pass to batting practice, get to meet the players. That's all good. Next pitch is inside, so 3 balls and no strikes to Brandon De La Guardia.
Yeah, this is going to be an all-skills camp for all ages, boys and girls. We want everyone to come out. We want to make this as big as possible. Friday, July 7th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Harry and David Field.
There's more information on our Facebook page and on our website, medfordrogues.com. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. LaGuardia taking all the way. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth inning. No one on for the Heat. Here's the pitch. That one's outside, ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Brandon De La Guardia will turn the lineup over. Tanner Tokunaga coming up.
Next up for Chico, center field number 1, Tanner.
So Tanner Tokunaga steps into the batter's box with Brandon De La Guardia at first. Earned a 2-out walk. Here's the first pitch to Tokunaga, in there for a strike, fastball, 0-1. Again, that's Brett Walker on the mound. For those of you following along on Point Streak, there was some unupdated databases. Caleb Smith was wearing number 37 earlier in the year. Next pitch to Tokunaga is just low, evening the count at 1-1. So the Rogues will play one more game here tomorrow, and then head back home to Harry and David Field for a 1-game series against the Lincoln Potters. That's on Monday, June 26th. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tokunaga.
That Monday game is also a Mystery Monday, so if you know a Kevin or want to tell us who your favorite Kevin is, you can get in for $5 or you can get in for free. It's going to be a great night. I'm really excited for it.
That's right, it will. That next pitch to Tokunaga on the outside corner, a called strike. Another great pitch, great location by Brett Walker. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Runner on first. Runner's going. Pitches outside. The throw is going to be almost in time. The throw by Braden Stutzman almost hit Brett Walker. Walker with some quick reflexes, ducking out of the way, Matrix style, to get away from that pitch.
Even though it was close to hitting Walker, it was still a great throw by Stutzman to second.
It was. It was a very close play down at second. LaGuardia had a great jump on that ball. Count is even 2-2 to Tokunaga with 2 outs and a runner on second here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Your Rogues are on top, 3-1. Walker looks back at second, now comes home. That ball is hit to the third baseman. Diving stop by Berman. Over to first, not going to be in time. A great play by Josh Berman at third base, though, keeping that ball in the infield. Delivered an accurate throw to Eric Yang, but Tokunaga has some serious wheels. Beat out that throw. So runners at the corners for the Rogues. Berman absolutely saved a run there, because Brandon LaGuardia had a full head of steam. Infield single for Tokunaga. That'll bring up Justin Watari, who reached on an error back in the 3rd inning and scored the lone run for the Heat. So the Rogues will play one more game here tomorrow and then return home to face the Lincoln Potters. Mystery Monday. It's Kevin Con at Harry and David Field. Runners on the corners for the Rogues. Here's the first pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. No balls and 1 strikes to Justin Watari. Two outs. LaGuardia at third. Tokunaga at first. Watari at the plate. Walker trying to keep the Heat off the scoreboard. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-2. Another great location by Brett Walker. If you're just joining us and following along on Point Streak, Brett Walker is the starting pitcher tonight for the Rogues, not Caleb Smith. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit, fouled off the third base side. We'll do this again. I have Sammy Costello here with me on the call, the Community Relations Coordinator for the Medford Rogues. Last night, the press box was very mild, mid to high 70s. Today, not so much. They didn't turn the air on for us. That pitch is going to be wild. Gets away from the catcher. The throw to home is not going to be in time. So LaGuardia comes home on the wild pitch by Brett Walker. Got away from Braden Stutzman. Was a high ball. Advancing on the plate as second is Tokunaga. And you'll remember, Brandon De La Guardia walked earlier in this inning. It's with 2 outs. All this going on. De La Guardia walked. Tokunaga singled. And then on the wild pitch, De La Guardia comes home. So the Rogues have not, the Heat have not swung a bat to get the runner on board that would eventually come home. Rogues still lead 3-2 here, bottom of the fourth inning. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Rogues, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Heat. Tokunaga at second, Watari in a 1-2 count. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low, even in the count at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner on second. Here at Nettleton Stadium, your Rogues are on top, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off the third base side. We will do this again. Tokunaga will slowly walk back to second base. So Monday night, Mystery Monday, Kevin Con. If you're a Kevin, show your ID at the gate, you get in for free. If you're not a Kevin, and that's okay, most of us aren't.
I'm not.
Tell us who your favorite Kevin is at the gate and get tickets for just $5. And all Kevins and those who tell us who your favorite Kevin is receives a free pack of Moose Munch presented by Harry and David. 2-2 the count, runner on second. Tokunaga dancing, and Brett Walker's going to take a step off the mound, sending Tokunaga back to second. So that's Monday night, but what's going on Tuesday?
Tuesday is our annual country night. Come out, wear your favorite country outfits, and be entered for a chance to win.
That pitch is low, running the count full to Watari.
Like I was saying, you can be entered a chance to win some country crossing tickets that's going to be happening in Central Point this summer. It should be a good time.
Country Crossings Festival is that huge country festival that happens in Oregon every year. It is a big deal.
Huge.
3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, poke. That's going to go through the left side of the infield. Tokunaga is being given the hold sign by the third base coach. Wasn't hit that hard. So runners at the corners for the Heat. That'll bring up Garrett Kelly, who had a RBI double back in the third inning. Christian Coronado, the pitching coach, coming out, going to have a quick conversation with Brett Walker.
You know, for country night, the first 1,000 fans that come into Harry and David Field will get Rocky Tonk cowbells.
That's right. It should be a really loud night, Tuesday, June 27th.
I think it should be a good matchup for Marysville to have to listen to those cowbells since we listened to those kazoos all night.
Yes, that's right. Those of you who are with us on the broadcast in Marysville heard the kazoos over the Nat mic. Some varying opinions on the kazoos. I was a fan of them. Those of you at home were not. But come on out Tuesday, June 27th. Receive your free Rocky Tonk cowbell. Make some noise for your Medford Rogues. The first of a 3-game series with your against the Marysville Gold Sox. Now you're thinking, well, wait. Yesterday, they were playing the Lincoln Potters.
Yeah, that's right. One random Lincoln Potter game snuck in there.
The Lincoln Potters coming home on the way home from playing the Portland Pickles. Going to stop in Medford, heading south.
Just a quick hello.
Yep, a quick stop in. Hello. Say hi to all the Kevins in attendance.
Yes, that's right.
Here's the pitch to Garrett Kelly. That ball is hit well to the left side. That is going to be just foul. Caught by Clay Valenzuela-Reese out there in the bullpen.
What a nice snag out there by Clay.
Clay getting out of the catcher's crouch to make that play in foul ground. 1 ball, no strike to Garrett Kelly. Runners on the corners for the Heat. That's Tokunaga at third, Justin Watari at first. 1 run already across for the Heat. Your Rogues still lead 3-2, bottom of the fourth inning.
You know, Jonathan, that ball was hit so hard that it took Clay almost into the wall.
It did. Clay Valenzuela-Reese was right there at the wall, just in foul ground. It's a loud strike for Garrett Kelly, who already has a double to that part of the ballpark in this game. Next pitch is low. 1-1 the count. So Tuesday, June 27th, dress up in your best country garb, be entered for a chance to win a pair of Country Crossings tickets. And the first 1,000 fans through the door get a Rocky Tonk cowbell to make some noise. Here's the pitch to Kelly. Breaking ball missing down. 2-1 the count. Looking ahead, Wednesday, June 28th, Rogue Credit Union night. All Rogue Credit Union members get in for free. You have to show your Rogue Credit Union membership. You do that, you get a free ticket to that night's game. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Garrett Kelly. Low, 3-1 the count.
You know, not only are Rogues tickets extremely affordable, but we try and make it possible for everyone to come out. We do different things, exactly like Rogue Credit Union night. Members get in for free. We try to do everything we can to bring the community into Harry and David Field.
We love seeing Harry and David full. We really do.
Yes, we do.
3-1 the count to Garrett Kelly. That ball's low. So now the bases are loaded. All of this happening with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brandon De La Guardia led things off with a walk. Stole second. Tanner Tukonaga singled. Justin Watari singled Brandon De La Guardia home. And now Garrett Kelly walks to load him up. And it looks like that's going to be it for Brett Walker. We're going to have a pitching change here at Nettleton. Rogues still on top 3-2, but the bases are juiced in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Joining me is the Community Relations Coordinator for the Medford Rogues, Sammy Costello. We have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brett Walker's night is done. On in relief, Scotty Wright. Bases are juiced. 2 out. Marcus Wilhite, the first baseman, at the dish for the Heat. First pitch to Wilhite is outside, ball 1. The final line for Brett Walker: 3 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, but responsible for all the runners on base. Next pitch to Wilhite is on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. And the line really doesn't reflect how well Brett Walker pitched tonight. He had great location on his pitches. Guys were swinging and missing left and right. But as it stands right now, he's in jeopardy of being the losing pitcher. It really hangs in the balance, with Scotty Wright.
You know, Brett Walker is an incoming freshman to Oregon. I'm excited to get to watch him progress over the years under the coaching staff of Coach Horton. I think that it's going to be a great opportunity for him as a young pitcher.
One of the better baseball programs in Oregon, also in the country.
Yes, that next to Oregon State, you know, we're really lucky to have them both in Oregon.
Absolutely, we are. Just some terrific college baseball for us in Oregon. 2-1 the count to Marcus Wilhite. Bases are juiced, 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch from Scotty Wright, swung on, fouled softly off the first base side. Deuces are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 3-2. Your Rogues on top. It's cooled down significantly here in Chico, down to a cool 96 degrees.
It was 102 just a little bit ago, so yes, 96 is much cooler.
102, actually the coolest start time of the series. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit. That is going to fall into left field. The tying run comes home. Only one comes home. Watari held at third. Tokunaga comes home. And the Heat have tied the game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rogues got 3 in the top of the 4th. Heat answer with 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. All of this coming with 2 outs in the inning. So now Brett Walker cannot earn the win, but can still escape with a no decision. Brett Walker still responsible for Justin Watari at third and Garrett Kelly at second. Cole Lemmel at the plate, first pitch swinging, foul back, 0-1 the count. 2 outs, bases still loaded. Bottom of the 4th inning. We're all tied 3-3 here at Nettleton Stadium.
Yeah, that was a nice throw by Johnny De La Cruz out and left to stop the
runner.
The lead runner at third.
Yep, Justin Watari put on the brakes. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lemmel. Curveball just misses inside. 1-1 the count. Lemmel is the 8th batter to come up to the plate. All of the trouble for the Rogues coming with 2 outs. They had 2 outs and nobody on earlier in this inning. Brandon De La Guardia walked, stole second. Tokunaga singled. Justin Watari singled home Brandon De La Guardia. Garrett Kelly walked. Marcus Wilhite singling home Tokunaga. Here's the pitch. Off speed, falls in there for a strike. Great pitch by Scotty Wright. Cole Lemmel wanting nothing to do with that off-speed pitch. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Bases are loaded for the Heat in a 3-3 ball game. Scotty Wright gets set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Scotty Wright comes in, gives up only 1 run. Brett Walker escapes with a no decision. We head to the top of the 5th inning. We're all tied here at Harry David Field. No, at Nettleton Stadium. Excuse me. Top of the 5th inning coming up, all tied at 3. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Rogues Baseball is brought to you by Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration. Founded over 2 decades ago, Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration are there when you need them most. Whether it's fire, storm, or water damage, the Alvarez Restoration Team is ready and willing to bring your home back to how it used to be. We like to say, when bad stuff happens, we make good stuff happen. Find us at alvarezrestoration.com or by calling 541-727-7340.
We're back on the road with the Rogues.
Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Top of the 5th inning here at Nettleton Stadium. Your Rogues facing the Chico Heat. Battle of the top 2 teams in the Great West League, all knotted up at 3. Leading things off for the Rogues, Jaden Hanna. First pitch to Hanna is outside, ball 1. With me on the broadcast, the Community Relations Coordinator for the Medford Rogues, Sammy Costello. So great to have you with us, Sammy.
Thanks for having me.
1-0 pitch to Hanna is high, 2-0 the count. Hanna 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Swinging a big bat, though. Players call him Big Jaden. Here's the 2-0. Swing and miss. Is Hanna. First strike of the 5th inning. Justin Walton still on the mound for the Chico Heat. Waiting on deck, Eric Yang and Alex Isola. Here's the 2-1. Off speed in there for a strike. Count is even, 2 apiece. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 errors for the Rogues. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Heat. 3 runs in the top of the 4th for the Rogues. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th for the Heat. 2 in the 4th for the Heat, excuse me. That next pitch is in the dirt. Running the count full, 3-2. Both of those runs for the Heat back in the 4th inning came with 2 outs and nobody on base. That's when they started that rally. Some championship baseball on display. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Hanna. That ball's high, and Hanna has earned himself a leadoff walk.
You know, Hanna, he definitely sprints down to first at every chance that he gets. He definitely is hustling on and off the field.
I've noticed a few Rogues players do that. Clay Valenzuela-Reese also, too. I mean, he is sprinting to first base, like he's legging out an infield single.
You never know what can happen with a pass ball. You know, it's another chance for them to get a double out of a walk.
It's absolutely true. I mean, there's no harm in hustling.
Never.
So that brings up Eric Yang, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, gets it down. The pitcher, Watland, picks it up, fires it over to the first baseman, Marcus Wilhite, in time. Eric Yang does his job, advancing Hanna to second. And the Rogues have the leading run on second.
That's definitely a great bunt by Yang. He's definitely really stepped up in the last couple games that he's been here for the Rogues, and he's been a great addition for us.
He has, batting .600 in the 5 games for the Rogues. But that just goes to show you what this team is all about. It doesn't matter if you're the first hitter. It doesn't matter if you're the 9 hitter. If there's an opportunity to bunt and get a guy over, you do it, and it gets done. So that'll bring up Alex Isola, who has a double and a run scored back in that 4th inning. Jaden Hanna on second, 1 out, top of the 5th. Tied ball game. Justin Wallen going to take a second, wipe his brow. Now we're all set. Isola waits for it. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. That's going to be no balls and 1 strike to Alex Isola. Top of the 5th inning, all tied at 3. Jaden Hanna on second. 1 out. Alex Isola at the dish. On deck, Connor Lowry. Watland getting the sign from Joe Bath. Looks back at second, now comes home. That pitch way outside, evening the count at 1 apiece. One and 1 the count to Alex Isola. Jaden Hanna takes his lead from second, 1 out, top of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Off speed that is high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, community relations coordinator, I guess I could tell all the fans about the kind of things I get the players to do out in the community. Just last week, we took 6 of the players to the Children's Hospital at Sante. They got to see some of the kids over there.
2-1 pitch is low, 3-1 the count. Isola in a great hitter's count with Jaden Hanna on second.
Like I was saying, they got to see some of the kids that are over there, put some smile on their faces, and hand out some free tickets and talk about their season and how great they're doing. It was an awesome time for all of us.
That's great. That is really, really great to hear. It's one thing to win, but giving back to the community is really what the Rogues are all about. Next pitch swung on and missed by Isola, running the count full, 3-2. 1 out, Jaden Hanna on second. We have the freight train, which passes by periodically here at Nettleton Stadium, coming across, going from right to left field.
You know, I'm glad you bring up it's great for the community. That's what we're all about here at the Rogues. We are about the community. We want to give back as much as they give to us.
Next pitch swinging, Isola gets all of that one. It goes foul off the third base side. My goodness, he put a charge into that ball.
With this being my second year with the Rogues, I've really gotten to experience how much the community means to the Rogues. And being from the Rogue Valley, I get to see firsthand what it's like to work with the community, and I love it. I wouldn't want to spend my summer doing anything else, to be honest.
Likewise, Sammy. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Low. Ball 4. Isola earns himself a walk, the second one of the inning, given up by Justin Watland.
With taking the players to the community hospital, children's hospital last week, we got 3 visits coming up this week. We have the library on Monday. We have lunch with Hearts with a Mission on Tuesday, and then they're going out to So Humane to go visit some of the dogs out there and see what the facility is all about before we host an event with So Humane for Bark in the Park on Friday.
First pitch to Connor Lowry, swinging and missing. 0-1 the count. That is Bark in the Park. That is on Friday, June 30th. I know I'm very excited about Bark in the Park. I'm a huge, huge dog lover.
Me too. It should be a good time. You know, dogs are able to come out. $5 for tickets for your dog, and all that donation goes to the So Humane to help bring in more kennels for them, supply food, water, anything that they can to keep the dogs happy until they find a forever home.
Quick conversation with the Chico Heat manager and the field ump. And speaking of raising funds to give to a good cause, we still have a few Star Wars jerseys left available on eBay.
That's correct. You know, Star Wars jerseys were a big hit this year, and we've got 2 left, like Jonathan was saying, and that money is benefiting Hearts with a Mission, and that's another great organization that we get to partner with every summer.
Hearts with a Mission helping homeless and at-risk teens in the Jackson County area try and turn their lives around. Here's the pitch to Connor Lowry, 2 on in scoring position. And I must have missed I think it was a balk that was called, because now Jaden Hanna is at third and Alex Isola is at second. So 2 on, 2 in scoring position for Connor Lowry, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Let's see if the RBI leader for the Great West League can tack on a few more. Pitch to Connor Lowry is high, evening the count, 1 apiece.
Another great event that we have coming up is we're partnering with Special Olympics to host a softball game with the special needs team. They got 2 teams. They're going to...
1-1 pitch is swung on and missed by Connor Lowry.
They're going to split the teams up, put them together, and they're going to throw some Rogues players in there, and they're going to have a slow pitch softball game for about an hour, and then they're going to hang out with the Rogues players for a little bit. It's going to be a great time. That's the most excited event that I am. The most excited I am for an event this summer.
That is fantastic. Is that happening at Harry and David Field?
It is. It's happening on July 2nd, the first Sunday of the month.
1-2 the count to Connor Lowry. Swung on, fouled back. We'll do this again. So whether it's homeless and at-risk teens or special needs, the special needs community, or some decent animals just looking for a good home.
You know, we do it all, Jonathan. We love partnering with everyone.
Here's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2 the count to Connor Lowry. Jaden Hanna is at third. Alex Isola is at second. Top of the 5th inning, all tied 3-3 here in Nettleton. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Home plate umpire calling time. I'm Jonathan Kerman with you on the call. Joining me the lovely Sammy Costello,
Oh, thank you.
the Community Relations Coordinator for the Medford Rogues. We're all set here. Here's the pitch, 2-2 to Lowry. Swung on, fouled back off the first base side. We'll do this again.
You know, I can't think of anyone better up to the plate right now than Connor Lowry. He's a veteran. He knows how to do this. He's been in this situation before with the Rogues. He helped us get to the championship game last year, and then he's doing great this season.
He is batting .303, and as we continue to mention, the RBI leader for the Great West League. 2-2 the count. Lowry swings and misses. Strike 3. So Justin Wallen gets the best of Connor Lowry, his second strikeout of the game. That will bring up Jake Helwig, who has a RBI single and a run scored back in the 4th inning. Jake Helwig hit that ball back in the 4th inning through the right side of the field. I think we're going to have a pitching change here for the Chico Heat. Yep, Justin Wallen's night is done. We will have the pitching change for you when we come back on Medford Rogues Live, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Stick around. We'll be right back. Fans, I can't tell you how many times we've had to replace a window at Harry and David Field because of a stray fly ball. When we need our windows fixed or replaced, the only team we trust are the folks at Bill's Glass. With locations in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass, Bill's Glass is the fastest and most affordable glass service in Southern Oregon. When you hear glass, think Bill's Glass.
We're back on the road with the Rogues.
Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Rogues have runners on second and third with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Jake Helwig, who has an RBI single already today and a run scored, is at the plate. Pitching change for the Chico Heat. Stepping in now is Tanner Roundy. Roundy is a lefty. Don't have a ton of information on him, however, I can tell you he's a long, tall kid with some flowing blonde hair. First pitch to Helwig is in there for a strike. 0-1.
Definitely some long hair on this kid pitching right now, Jonathan.
Again.
The pitcher for the Chico definitely has some long hair going on, longer than anyone on the Rogues right now.
Absolutely. I think the only one giving him a run for his money is Braden Stutzman. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Big curveball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Jaden Hanna is at third. Alex Isola is at second. Top of the 5th inning, 2 outs in a tied ball game, 3-3. Sammy Costello, the Community Relations Coordinator for the Rogues, joining me on the broadcast this evening. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call.
Thanks again for having me, Jonathan. It's been a lot of fun.
The pleasure is all mine, Sammy. Here's the 2-0 pitch, excuse me. No, 0-2 pitch. Let's get the words right, Jonathan. That ball is fouled back. We'll do it again. Count is still 0-2 to Jake Helwig. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning.
You know, if you're just tuning in, I've been telling Jonathan all about the community relations that the Rogues do and where the players have been going this summer so far and where they're coming next week.
A ton of great community outreach by the Medford Rogues. That pitch is swung on foul back over the netting. Count is still 0-2. Jake Helwig fighting to stay alive, trying to get at least one run. Jaden Hanna at third, the tying run, home.
You know, Monday they're heading to the library. Tuesday, Hearts with a Mission lunch. And Wednesday they have the So Humane visit. It's going to be a great couple 3 days for these guys, and I'm excited for them to go out to the community and see what it's all about.
0-2 the count. Nope. Roundy's going to step off the mound. Don't have a ton of information on Roundy. Doesn't have any information in Point Streak. All we have is what we have with our eyes. Yep, we have
got his name.
We got his name, got his number, his hair color, and which hand he throws the ball with. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one is high. 1-2 the count.
We're also able to tell you that he's got hair to his shoulder, and he throws the ball pretty hard.
Dirty blonde hair. Reminds you of a Tim Lincecum or a Barry Zito back in the day type.
Blonde hair, Tim Lincecum. I can see it, maybe.
The lengthy left-hander. Here's the pitch, swung on, hit to the left side of the field. This time, though, the second baseman, Watari, is there to get Helwig. It was an interesting play at first base. Marcus Wilhite had to come across his body to make the play. Helwig was hustling down the line. It was close. But it's an out. Rogues fail to get a run across. Two are left stranded. We head to the home half of the fifth inning. We are all tied here at Nettleton Stadium between the Medford Rogues and the Chico Heat. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Rogues fans, if you're looking for a used car or truck, why not head to the dealer that will give you the best quality vehicle at the best price? Crater Lake Ford uses real-time tracking software to research similar makes within hundreds of miles to give you the best car shopping experience while saving you time and money. Crater Lake Ford. Right cars and trucks, right prices, right experiences. Visit CraterLakeFord.com today.
Let's head back to the ballpark. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We are in the bottom of the fifth inning, all tied 3-3. Your Medford Rogues taking on the Chico Heat. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Joining me is the Community Relations Coordinator for the Medford Rogues, Sammy Costello. Stepping in for the Rogues, for the Chico Heat, Jack Rodeville. On the mound for the Rogues is Scotty Wright. Rodeville, first pitch swinging, soft grounder to Hanna. Hanna over to Eric Yang at first for the out. And just like that, there's one down in the bottom of the fifth inning. So that'll bring up Grant Heisinger, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch from Wright. Catches the outside corner, a fastball, good one by Wright. 0-1 the count. One out, nobody on for the Heat here. Bottom of the fifth inning, all tied 3-3.
You know, Jonathan, it was pretty hot here earlier, and I saw the Chico staff going around with some
water guns it was, right?
And misters, they were even spraying the players. That's some great stuff on their end, keeping everyone cool during this 102 heat.
Yeah, I mean, anything you can do to try to keep these fans and players cool. That next pitch is fouled back by Grant Heisinger, 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Scotty Wright. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The second strikeout of the day for Scotty Wright. Just like that, 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Joe Bath, who is also 0 for 2 on the day. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Chico Heat. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs, nobody on for the Heat.
If anyone was listening last night, Scotty Wright was actually at shortstop. Now he's in to pitch.
Pitching on the mound. First pitch is in to Joe Bath. The Rogues have a few players that can play multiple positions. Taylor Frost, Scotty Wright is on the mound right now. Jaden France, who pitched in the Marysville series, also plays the infield and swings a mean bat. Here's the 1-0.
Another one I think is Clay Valenzuela-Reese. I've seen him at catcher, infield, outfield. I think I've even heard that he can pitch.
I did not know that Valenzuela-Reese could pitch. I have seen him play just about every spot on the diamond. Here's the 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back. So 2-1 now to Joe Bath. And there are a ton of these players. I mean, we're still in college ball here, so players are still trying to figure out where they fit best. Not a lot of specialties, not a lot of position-specific players, but that just makes it all the easier for Coach Hogan to move pieces around, get everyone some playing time. 2-1 the count. Swung on, fouled back by Joe Bath. Bath was way behind that one. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. 3-3 ball game. Scotty Wright on the mound in relief for Brett Walker.
It definitely just got a little rowdy in here. Not the pun intended. These stadium bleachers let these fans get really loud with the stomping of their feet.
Yes, they do. That next pitch is check swing, no swing, says the field umpire. So that runs the count full 3-2 to Joe Bath. Waiting on deck, should Joe Bath get aboard, the third baseman Brandon De La Guardia. No one on. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs, full count to Joe Bath. Scotty Wright. Here's the pitch. Low and in. And that'll be ball 4 to Joe Bath. So that'll bring up Brandon De La Guardia, who has a walk and a run scored back in the 4th inning.
Next up, the third baseman, number 11, Brandon De La Guardia.
So we've talked about Mystery Monday. That's Kevin Con. If your name's Kevin, you get in for free. If you're not named Kevin, tell us who your favorite Kevin is. Get tickets for just $5. Everyone gets Moose Munch. It's delicious.
I think my favorite Kevin is Kevin from the Minions movie.
Yes. The rectangular, tubular-shaped minion Kevin. First pitch to Brandon De La Guardia is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Jonathan, who's your favorite Kevin?
I would have to say Kevin Spacey. He's a terrific actor in a couple of my favorite movies. American Beauty, 4-1. It's a fantastic movie. 0-1 the count. Running on the play is Joe Bath. The throw is not going to be in time. So Joe Bath steals second.
It was a great stop by Davis DeLorfis at second to keep the ball in front of him, letting the runner advance to another base.
Always a dicey play. You have either the shortstop or the second baseman coming on. The catcher throwing from home, and you have a runner coming in on the play. A lot happening, converging at one base. DeLorfis doing a good job of keeping that ball in front of him. 0-2 the count to Joe Bath. Excuse me, to Brandon De La Guardia. Joe Bath just stole that base. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on second for the Heat in a 3-3 ball game. I'm also a big House of Cards fan, so that's why Kevin Spacey is my big one. Just outside, that pitch is called. 1-2 the count. What about you, Sammy? Who is your favorite Kevin? You already told me it was Kevin from the Minions. Sorry.
That's definitely one of them. I know. I'm not a big movie person, but any Kevin in general.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The second strikeout of the inning. Third one of the game for Scotty Wright. The Heat strand Joe Bath at second. We are still tied. We go to the top of the 5th top of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts.
I think that's going to do it for me, Rogues fans. I just want to thank you, Jonathan, for letting me be on the broadcast tonight. I had a lot of fun, and thanks for letting me tell everyone about what I do for the Rogues and how excited I am to bring the players out into the community this summer.
It was great having you, Sammy, the Community Relations Coordinator for your Medford Rogues, joining me on the call for these middle innings. Thank you so much, Sammy. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you. Go Rogues.
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Sammy Costello, the Community Relations Coordinator for the Rogues, joined us. Now, joining me on the call, Jamie Flynn, starting pitcher for the Medford Rogues, joined me last night, gave me some great color commentary.
Hey, John, good to be back on with you.
Great to have you, Jamie. First pitch to Johnny De La Cruz. Ball, second one, he swung at and missed, so the count is even at 1 apiece. Top of the 6th inning, tied 3-3.
And one thing we've seen tonight, John, is the pitchers for the Chico Heat haven't been necessarily blowing up the radar gun, but they've all thrown really good changeups. And having that change of pace has definitely been detrimental to the Rogues hitters.
Next pitch is fouled back by Johnny De La Cruz, 1 and 2. Those two pitchers for the Heat, Justin Watland, and now on the mound, Tanner Roundy, who we do now have some information for you. 6'4", 180 pounds, out of Henderson, Nevada, pitching for Columbia Basin Community College. 1 and 2 the count to Johnny De La Cruz.
Brad, what's our next event? Do we have anyone?
And says here that he's a right-hander, but my eyes are telling me that he's a left-hander. What do you think, Jamie? As a pitcher, does he look like a left-hander to you?
It's a tough read, but I think with that hair, he looks a lot more like a southpaw to me.
Absolutely. That is absolutely right. It's the hair that gives it away, not what hand has the glove. It's the hair. Full count to Johnny De La Cruz. Nobody out, top of the 6th inning. Tie ball game. Here's the pitch to De La Cruz. Swung on. That is hit well to center field. Going on, making the play is Tanner Tokunaga out there in center field for the first out of the 6th inning.
And it's a little bit of a stalemate here in the top of the 6th, John, as we head into the later part of the game, and it's going to be interesting to see which team cracks through and ends up getting a run or two. That could be the difference in this one, just a single run or maybe even two.
We were scoreless through 2.5 innings. The Chico got 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Rogues answered with 3 in the top of the 4th. Chico then answered with 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning, all coming with 2 outs. And that's the ball game. First pitch to Josh Berman is a check swing. The home plate umpire says he went around, so 0-1 the count to Josh Berman.
Well, interesting on that one that they didn't call down and ask for help at the 3rd. That was a close check swing. Berman unfortunate on that one. But as you mentioned, it's been a game of punchbacks so far for both squads.
Here's the 0-1 to Berman. Swung on that one's hit well to left field, but right at Garrett Kelly, making the grab, taking 1 step over to his right. Just like that, there are 2 away.
And it looked like Berman just missed the middle of his barrel on that one. Put a little bit of a charge in it towards left, but we can see a lot more power when Berman really connects with a pitch. And unfortunately for the Rogues on that one, right below the warning track.
We saw Berman's power on display in Marysville, hit a homer, I believe it was the second game of the series, over the left field wall. Those are some high fences in Marysville at Calusa Casino Stadium. Stepping in, the catcher, Braden Stutzman. First pitch is high. 1 balls, no strikes.
And the one that really impressed me about Berman was the one, not the home run, the double that he ended up hitting the next at bat, which was more towards left center, almost dead center, off that high wall, as you mentioned.
It was to the farthest part of the infield. That is a shallow fly ball coming on, and going to make the catch is the right fielder, Cole Lemmel. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Rogues. They go down in order. We head to the bottom half of the sixth. We're all tied 3-3. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Joining me for these later innings is Jamie Flynn, starting pitcher for the Medford Rogues, giving some terrific color commentary. We'll be back with the bottom half of the sixth right after this. The Rogues broadcast team would like to thank our friends at Mary's Barbecue. Tender, juicy, slow smoked meat, homemade sides, and friendly service. And it's easy for anyone in Southern Oregon to get to. Mary's Barbecue at 841 East Pine Street in Central Point. Follow along on Facebook or their website, marysbbqplace.com. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman with you. Joining us, Jamie Flynn of the Medford Rogues. Leading things off for the Chico Heat is the leadoff man, Tanner Tokunaga. First pitch is a ball, next one is inside, ball 2.
Looks like Scott Wright's looking to use the inside part of the plate against Tokunaga, who has done a good job of hitting the ball up the middle, but those two are both way too far inside for anything to happen as far as the umpire is concerned.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That ball is fouled back off the first base side, so we'll do this again.
And that one's much more what Scott Wright was trying to do. Got it just enough inside that the hitter decided to take the bait and swing at it, and he lifted it high and over the right bleachers here at Chico Stakes Ballpark.
Jammed him. 2-1 the count to Tanner Tokunaga. Swung on. That one's hit well to center field. Coming on and not going to make the play. It's going to fall in front of Connor Lowry. So a leadoff single for Tanner Tokunaga. His third of the day. He is 3 for 4. Grounded out back in the third inning. But other than that, all singles for Tokunaga.
And that's a nice piece of hitting by Tokunaga. That's a little, it's kind of high praise to say Derek Jeter-esque, but fisted one of those inside pitches as we were talking about. Scott was going after that right over Jaden Hanna and kind of into that Bermuda triangle that is the center fielder, second baseman, and right fielder.
The inside-out swing, I believe they call it.
Yes,
no matter what you call it, it's a single. Stepping in now, Justin Watari. First pitch is a called strike. 0-1 the count.
And so, John, I don't know if you've been able to see, and obviously our fans have not been able to see, but as far as the umpire down on the field, he's been calling the higher strike, but the lower strike has been a ball that normally maybe another umpire might call. So his zone a little up today.
So that pitch at the knees being called a ball tonight. Scotty Wright throws over to first. Tokunaga back standing.
Correct, and he's been hearing a mouthful, at least from my perspective, from Josh Hogan, and I'm sure there's been a couple of things said by the Chico staff as well.
Balls and strikes was a touchy subject in last night's game.
Yes, several times.
Several times throughout the game. Both dugouts not happy with the calls of the home plate umpire. 0-1 the count. Bunt is shown, going to pull back for a ball. That's Justin Watari at the plate. 1-1 the count.
And actually, now that you mention it, as far as last night, we did have a player ejected last night. And it was actually a funny story because the umpire told Josh Hogan to select a player that had to leave the ballpark. I've never seen it done before. Slightly unprofessional, in my opinion, but something was yelled out of the Rogues dugout that he did not take very lightly, the umpire, that is. And so we lost a little Jaden in that inning. Very interesting turn of events.
Little Jaden, that is Jaden France, who stands in over 6 feet tall, opposed to Big Jaden, who's out there playing second base, standing in at a towering 5'7". On a good day.
Yes,
in
exactly.
cleats.
Exactly. And I think we mentioned last night that's kind of one of our running jokes. But Mr. France is unfortunately not allowed to be at the ballpark today, and so that's tough for him, but he took that bullet for the team.
2-1 the count to Atari. Tokunaga on first. Pitch miss low. 3-1 the count. And I have to agree, I never in my years of being a baseball fan have I heard of an ump telling a head coach, pick a player to get tossed.
I've never seen it either, John, and I think it was really interesting, and everybody was kind of dazed and confused about it, that's for sure.
That pitch is going to be hit through the left side of the field. Back-to-back singles for the Heat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out.
And that's a really unfortunate one for Scott Wright. Kind of a trickling ground ball through the left side in the 6-hole. And that's going to be a base hit, of course, but it looks like they're going to ride Scott right here. Scott's going to be heading to a wedding, actually, after this evening. So the Rogues are going to miss him for the final game here at Chico, so they can ride him. Although a tie ball game, Peyton Fuller is warming up down in the bullpen for the Rogues. And so Scott will be missed tomorrow, and so his arm, he can throw a couple pitches tonight.
Certainly it seems like Hogan's going to let him do that here, try and work himself out of this 2-on, no-out jam. Garrett Kelly, the hottest hitter for the Heat, at the plate, takes a first pitch ball, 1-0. That's Peyton Fuller from Ashland, Oregon.
Yes, correct. My fellow Ashlander. And
That's right.
As far as Scott's concerned, I think Hoagie and Lyle and Christian Coronado are going to ride him because he's one of those position players that actually does have the stuff to be a pitcher, and he's obviously a pitcher right now, and that means he's typically very competitive, and Scott's one of our competitors for sure.
Next pitch, showing bunt. It's a great one by Garrett Kelly. Fired over to first. Berman made a great play on that one, charging the ball down the third base line, firing it over to Eric Yang at first to get Garrett Kelly.
And so no play anywhere else on that sacrifice bunt. Hard at Berman. Berman does a great job. Textbook play for him. Important to get an out there because
absolutely,
you don't want them to be able to do two sacrifices or two ground balls that score more than a run in this inning. And the Rogues are maybe okay with it being middle of the game if they have to give up one here, as Coronado is coming out to talk probably strategy more than anything else, because Scott has been getting, unfortunately, that bloop single and then the ground ball through the hole.
Grounder, yep,
absolutely.
To the left side.
And so I think when a pitching coach comes out here, he makes sure that his pitcher knows, you're not. Nothing's necessarily going wrong. Your stuff's good. They got a couple through the hole. It's unfortunate, but we're trusting you. You're our guy. Go get him.
Trust your stuff. Business as usual.
Business as usual, especially for Scott Wright. And the thing that the coaches have really loved about Scott is we talked about his competitiveness just a minute ago, but him and Taylor Frost have done a great job of coming out of the bullpen and really helping the Rogues to this 16-6 record that they're holding now today.
That's right. Atop the Great West League are your Medford Rogues. Stepping in now with 2 on and 1 out is Marcus Wilhite. Takes a first pitch curveball in there for a strike. Great pitch by Scotty Wright.
And you notice that the Rogues' infield is now in everywhere, not just at the corners. So Josh Hogan taking a gamble here to try to get the run out at the plate.
0-1 the count to Wilhite. Here's the pitch. That one way inside, 1-1. Oh, it hits him. Looks like it just nicked him on the elbow, maybe.
And you know what, John? Unfortunately for Scott Wright, that's not at all where he's trying to throw that off speed. But not worst case scenario for the Rogues is the double plays now in effect.
Not at all. I was just about to say that it seemed like they were foregoing putting Wilhite on to bring the double play back in order, but it doesn't matter.
And it's one of those things, it's an intentional walk situation there. You're going to pitch around the guy. We call it in the baseball world yellow or a red hitter. You're not going to give him something to hit. You're not going to let him do the damage, and now the infield up the middle is back. They can turn a double play there, and the corners are in slightly to throw home if needed.
Cole Lemmel, and he gets hit. So back-to-back hit batters by Scotty Wright will walk home a run. Tanner Tokunaga, who singled to lead off this inning, Still nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. One out, in the bottom of the sixth inning.
And I think they're going to go to Peyton Fuller here, it looks like. And, yeah, Josh Hogan's making his way out of the dugout. Unfortunate for Scott Wright to end his week with the Rogues, which has been solid. Couple hits, couple innings thrown at Marysville. And now he'll head off to his wedding. And not his wedding, of course, the wedding that he will be attending. And Peyton Fuller's going to have to come in a little mop-up duty.
Bases loaded, one out. We'll be back. Your Rogues are trailing 3-4. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, you're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Jamie Flynn with me. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman with you on the call. Bases are loaded, one out for the Chico Heat. Bottom of the sixth inning, one already across for the Heat. Up to bat is Jake Rodeville. Joining me on the call, starting pitcher for the Rogues, Jamie Flynn.
And you know what? This is a great ground ball candidate for Peyton Fuller here with Rodeville coming up. He's already grounded out twice this evening. And I think he's looking for that ground ball double play, and obviously why you bring the big downhill throwing right-hander from University of Oregon in.
Peyton Fuller on in relief for Scotty Wright. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. Final line for Scotty Wright. 1 2/3 inning pitched. 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, but is also responsible for the 3 runners on base for the Heat. That is Justin Watari at third, Marcus Wilhead at second, and Cole Lemmel at first.
And here we're going to see something that Jeff Lyle was talking about in the dugout earlier this evening is Chico potentially picking signs or picking our pitchers' pitches via how they grip the ball before they put the ball into their mitt and get ready for the pitch. Lyle has a little bit of history with the pitching coach for Chico and realized that might be something that they were doing earlier when Wright entered the game, and so it looks like Peyton Fuller and Braden Stutzman are getting together to change up and make sure that they're not getting picked.
The chess match continues here at Nettleton Stadium. The 0-1 pitch to Rodeville in there for a strike off speed pitch. 0-2.
And something you want to do in a situation like this that Peyton Fuller's done excellently thus far is come in and be able to throw off speed, because a lot of times a hitter gets in the box with a reliever and believes he's going to throw a strike, so he's going to throw a fastball, but Peyton has yet to do so, but 2 strikes.
0-2 the count. Here it is. Swung on, just fouled back. There was the fastball.
There was the fastball, and a little bit late, and that's also another thing, John, is if You come in the game, he hasn't seen you, hasn't been able to time you up for several innings. You come in and you throw the off-speed. The fastball looks even harder when you end up throwing it. Peyton comes inside with a fastball. A good job by Rotteville to foul that one back.
0-2 the count still to Rotteville. 1 out, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit softly to the third baseman. They're going to go home. It's going to be a force out at home. Great heads-up play by Josh Berman to get Justin Watari coming home at third on the force. No run scores. Bases still loaded, but 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And Rotteville very disappointed, throwing his Evo shield towards the dugout in frustration that he couldn't get it done. But Peyton Fuller did get it done for the Rogues.
He did.
That's a big out and still a 1-run deficit here. Shirley looking for another ground ball out to end this half inning.
So that'll bring up Grant Heisinger, who is 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Here's the pitch from Fuller. That one is low, 1-0. So just as we were talking about, Peyton Fuller inducing the ground ball over to Josh Berman at third.
Correct.
Great heads-up play. Fired it home to Braden Stutzman, covering home plate, getting the force out, keeping the Heat off the board, at least for the time being. One run already across.
Yes, and that's a tough one for Josh Berman because he's ranging to his left, and it was hit slowly, so no chance for a double play, but he gets the out at home.
That pitch is low, just low. I think that's that knee-high ball that we were talking about earlier in the broadcast, not called a strike in this game. So 2-0 the count, 2 outs, bases juiced for Grant Heisinger.
And nothing more frustrating for a pitcher coming into the game and not being able to get that low strike call, but at least the umpire has been consistent.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, that is hit right at the center fielder. Connor Lowry takes a step in, then a step back, and makes the catch. So a great job by Peyton Fuller getting out of that inning. 1 run does come across, though. Your Rogues are trailing 4-3. We head to the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back with the last 3 innings right after this. Rogues fans, when we get into these late innings and I start getting hungry, the first place I think of is Heroes Sandwich Shop. Heroes is the new place for gourmet subs, wraps, salads, and burgers. People are really talking about how Heroes is the best sandwich shop in town. Go give them a try. Eat like a hero. Hero Subs. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Here at Nettleton Stadium, your Rogues trailing 4-3. Leadoff hitter for the Rogues, Davis DeLorfis at the plate. First pitch is low, ball 1. Joining me on the call, starting pitcher for the Rogues, Jamie Flynn.
Yeah, and it's great to be down here in Chico. And what's wonderful about it is now that we have the shade and the cover of night.
Next pitch is low and outside, 2-0 the count.
Now that we have the cover of night, it's a really cool 90-plus degrees here still. And it's funny that it's 90 outside and everybody's relieved because normally that would be extremely hot for most people. But it's better than the 108 that we've been seeing when the sun's been out.
Certainly. I mean, I suppose it's all relative. 3 balls now and no strikes to Davis DeLorfis in a 1-run game. The Heat scrapped one across in the 6th. Could have had more, but great pitching by Peyton Fuller, great play by Josh Berman to get a force out at home. That pitch is a called strike. DeLorphis taking all the way on that one. 3-1 the count.
And kind of just to get me over fastball, and probably something that DeLorphis could have done some damage with there, but he's a very unselfish hitter, and he's looking for 90 feet and a free base any way he can, honestly. So you take that pitch there.
And there it is. That's ball 4. So the leadoff man, the tying run on board for the Rogues.
And that's huge. And one of the things that the Rogues have been doing all season is remaining extremely resilient, John. When it comes to a team scoring, the Rogues have this mentality to punch back. And they love scoring runs, and I love to see them scoring runs right after one of our pitchers or something goes wrong in their half of the inning. In this case, Chico putting up 1 run, and now the Rogues obviously threatening with one of their best base runners in DeLorphis at first. And no outs.
Jaden Hanna at the plate. Here's the pitch. Hanna showing bunt, pulls back. It's a called strike on the outside corner.
Wow.
That was a generous strike, to be sure.
Generous strike for sure on that one. Hanna, who doesn't necessarily crowd the plate, so it looks further away than most other hitters, but definitely did not appear from our angle right behind home plate to catch the corner, but nevertheless, a strike called.
Tanner Roundy steps off the mound, going to wipe his brow. Now comes back set. DeLorphis at first. He walked to lead off this inning. Rogues trailing 4-3, top of the seventh, excuse me. Jaden Hanna waiting. Roundy going to throw over to first. DeLorphis scampers back to the bag safely.
Kind of an unorthodox pick there. It looked like the pitcher almost forgot that he was picking off and made a really late throw.
And a second pick.
One.
Oh, that was some crafty play by Tanner Roundy. Almost got DeLorphis snoozing. So it was a lazy pickoff attempt.
Exactly.
To get DeLorphis back, and then while DeLorphis was stepping off the bag, Roundy fired it back over to first. DeLorphis, though, paying attention, got back in time. 0-1 the count. Hanna showing a bunt. That's going to be a great bunt. It's going to get down. Hanna is going to be tagged out by the pitcher. Advancing on the play is DeLorphis.
And that was what I was going to say, and the pitcher beat me to it as far as that lazy one that he kind of threw over, and then immediately fired one back over to the first baseman. And as you mentioned, Davis very, very close to being called out on that one. Scampered back in just ahead of the throw and the tag, and the Rogues are threatening here with a runner in scoring position, and Josh Hogan electing to sacrifice Jaden Hanna to bring up the middle of the order, and Yang's been great, and so is Alex Isola.
And then after those two, you got Connor Lowry. First pitch to Eric Yang is outside. Ball 1. DeLorphis at second, Hanna bunting him over after the leadoff walk. That's what we've seen from this Rogues team all season. It doesn't matter if you're the 1-hitter or the 9-hitter. Anywhere in the lineup, you can be asked to bunt to move that runner over. And that's that unselfish baseball that I love to see. Next pitch is fouled back by Eric Yang. 1-1.
And you know, the Rogues hitters have definitely bought into Josh Hogan doing that, and it's beautiful to see because a lot of the time you bring these young high school headed to college hitters into a lineup that are usually the 4 hitters or somewhere in the lineup that don't bunt for their high school teams.
Right.
And so they're not well practiced at it, but they've bought in, and we've seen guys like Alex Isola, and here's Yang, and he had a sacrifice earlier this evening.
He did. Here's the next pitch. That one is an off speed that is high and outside. 2-1.
But it's
to Eric Yang.
It's sort of one of those things that you buy into and realize that somewhere down the road there's going to be a guy that bunts ahead of you and gives you the opportunity to be the man who drives in the RBI. And so you're okay with sacrificing every once in a while because you know it's going to come back around.
That's right. What goes around comes around. 2-1 the count to Eric Yang. DeLorphis at second. 1 out. Here's the pitch. And it hits him. Home plate umpire going to say, hold on, everyone just calm down here. There were 2 hit batters in the top of this inning, or rather the bottom of the 6th. Eric Yang gets hit. Don't think it was intentional. Again, because of the situation, now the leading run,
no doubt,
is aboard. But Yang got plunked. That was a fastball, certainly.
That was a fastball right on the hip, and I think Yang's a big enough kid. He'll be able to bounce back from that one. But it's interesting that you say that, John, because in the situation, most definitely not trying to hit a guy here.
Certainly
a one-run ball game, maybe a little bit of heated interactions last night between the teams towards the end of the game that might cause somebody to be hit, but not in this case, I don't think.
Certainly not, and it's been pretty kosher in this game so far. No tempers have boiled over from last night yet. First pitch to Alex Isola is a ball. DeLorfis at second. Yang at first. 1 out here, top of the 7th. Rogues trailing 4-3. Here's the pitch. That pitch is low. 2-0 the count to Isola waiting on deck. The RBI leader for the Great West League, Connor Lowry.
And just a little bit of insight as far as last night was concerned. The catcher for the Chico Heat was hit in the 9th inning with 2 runners on and 2 out. And he
in a 3-run
game. And he thought and had exchanged words with the pitcher, Frost, and also Jaden Hanna.
Next pitch is low to Isola. 3-0 now, the count to Alex Isola.
It was actually Will Floyd, correction, that he exchanged words with before Frost ended up taking over. But what Jaden Hanna had mentioned to him over at first base was that, why would we hit you when you're the tying run? That makes no sense, especially in the 9th inning.
Situationally, it just did not make any sense. That ball is hit softly to the second baseman. The second baseman, Watari, fires it over to first in time to get Isola, but the runners do advance. So now 2 in scoring position for the Rogues, and the butter and egg man, Connor Lowry, coming up to the plate.
And Connor, visibly frustrated with his last at bat, is the kind of player that motivates him. A lot of players will be able to get angry with themselves and then calm down, within the next 8 hitters of the lineup and be ready to go the second time through. And Connor Lowry is one of those guys that uses that motivation of his past failure to go ahead and attack the next at bat and try to do something big here. And so Connor Lowry, as you mentioned, leading the Great West League in RBIs, this is his chance. And what's also great about, unfortunate that Isola grounds out there, but what's big is that he grounded out to the right side of the infield. So the runners advance, and even though there are 2 outs, there are a lot of pass balls and wild pitches in this league.
Yes, there are.
And that gives Davis DeLorfis a good shot at scoring. Although this backstop, John, brick, and it has bounced back a couple of times in favor of the catcher.
It has. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. You hear the train coming by. First pitch to Connor Lowry is low. Ball 1. Connor Lowry is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run scored. He's been up to bat with runners in scoring position before in this game. I'm sure he's looking to get his first RBI tonight and extend that lead in the RBI category for the entire league.
And give the Rogues the lead.
And give the Rogues the lead, exactly. Here's the pitch to Lowry. Just misses outside. 2-0.
And so it's kind of funny, John, down in front of us, is they had one of the promotions, I guess, is what you could call it, their rally train. They have a train in center field and left field going past, and they're going rally train, and we got some people up here in the booth that are saying, sit down, we don't want a rally train for the Rogues right now. Good crowd out in Chico tonight.
Yes, it is. 3-0 now, the count to Connor Lowry, and it's pretty clear that Tanner Roundy wants nothing to do with Connor Lowry. With the first base open, I think he'll take his chances with Jake Helwig.
And a strategic walk maybe for the win if he ends up getting Helwig out afterward. And like you said, nowhere near the zone for Lowry, but he better be careful as far as a wild pitch is concerned as well.
Absolutely. DeLorfis waiting. Here's the pitch. That one's outside, so a 4-pitch walk to Connor Lowry. The bases are loaded for Jake Helwig, who singled, had an RBI, and scored in the 4th inning.
And we are seeing a coach come out from the Chico Heat here as well. It'll be interesting to see if they bring in a right-hander to face Helwig. This is when the pitcher entered the game back 2 innings ago when Jake Helwig stepped up to the plate because it's a lefty-lefty matchup.
Right.
And it looks like it's just going to be a meeting, and they're going to trust this reliever in the Chico Heat.
2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Rogues trailing 4-3. Jake Helwig going to come up. DeLorfis is at third. Yang at second. Lowry at first.
And as we mentioned, for those Rogues fans that have been with us for the past couple of years, a great fan base out here in Chico this evening, and actually one of our own in the stands in Tony Roque, for those that remember Tony, third baseman and shortstop for the Medford Rogues. 2 summers ago, Tony, a really good kid, played here for Chico State after his time at Western Nevada, and Tony's now done with baseball. But I got an opportunity to speak with Tony over the last couple of days and actually see him, and he's doing very well for those Rogues supporters that wish for a little bit of insight about, I guess, Rogues alums, ex-Rogues, whatever you want to call them.
Bases loaded for Jake Helwig. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning, 1-run game. First pitch off speed, just misses, ball 1. The 3 Rogues runners, DeLorfis, Yang, and Lowry, have all reached without swinging the bat. all reached on walks.
And the Rogues looking to cash this in here with Hellwig up to plate, and he had a good night last night and already a hit tonight.
Next pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Hellwig did have a great night last night. Went 3 for 4, 3 singles, a few RBIs. All of his singles to the right side of the field. His single tonight and his one ground out to the right side of the field. So it's interesting they don't put the shift on, maybe because of the bases loaded situation. Maybe they just don't do that in the Great West League. But I mean, if I were the Chico Heat manager, that ball is low, 2-1 to Hellwig. I'd at least think about it. This guy's been hitting to the right side of the field the entire series.
No doubt. And I think if there aren't runners in these positions, you most likely might start doing that with the way Hellwig's been swinging the bat and hitting everything to the right side. But as you alluded to, John, with the bases loaded, they do have the second baseman much further to the right of second base, at least from our perspective,
yes, they
than
do.
in normal situations.
2-1 pitch high. 3-1 the count now to Jake Hellwig. Hellwig batting .330 on the year, has 29 hits in 21 games, 11 RBIs, 4 doubles, 18 runs scored.
And Jake went through a little bit of a slump, and I know he was frustrated with himself last week, but he's been very good for the Rogues the last few days and very solid in the outfield.
That pitch is swung on, hit to the second baseman, going to be over to the shortstop covering second for the force. The Rogues cannot get the tying run across. Davis DeLorfis led the inning off with a walk, but cannot come home. The Rogues strand 3. We head to the home half of the 7th. We're going to stretch here at Nettleton Stadium. Rogues are down 4-3. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Nettleton Stadium on MedfordRoguesLive.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call with you. Bottom of the 7th inning, Rogues down 4-3. Joining me on the call, Rogues pitcher Jamie Flynn. First ball to Joe Bath is a ball. Here's the next pitch by Peyton Fuller. That is a called strike on the inside corner. A great fastball. 1-1 the count.
And an especially great fastball from Fuller there after he goes off speed away for a ball, but then jams the hitter inside there, and he wanted none of that pitch.
1-1 the count. The next pitch, a fastball, gets away from Braden Stutzman, playing catcher today. His first look as catcher for the Rogues. He actually plays catcher for his college.
And for the Rogues last summer. Got quite a few innings behind the dish. Braden, he's caught me several times. The Rogues have 4 great catchers this year, and it's very exciting as a pitcher.
Swung on and missed. Strike 2 is Joe Bath.
A good pitch by Fuller there, fooled the hitter. But he did get a piece of it to even the count at 2-2. Fuller looking strong here for the Rogues.
Pitching very well so far, getting out of a bases-loaded jam with just one across. But right now, that's the tying run. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, just fouled back. Joe Bath way ahead of that one. Just got a piece of it. Count remains 2-2.
And Peyton came in and did a great job last inning, inducing the ground ball and the out at home, and then getting the fly ball to not let any of those runs by Scotty Wright in after Scott left the ball game.
Next pitch in the dirt, ball 3. So Joe Bath runs the count full here. Bottom of the 7th inning, nobody out, nobody on.
And that one bounced, I think, on the grass, on the cut of the grass. So no way he's going to swing at that one at all. And that's one thing the Rogues have talked about, is being able to have that put-away pitch to bury a slider or a curveball in the dirt. But one thing that the coaching staff has been frustrated with is the number of fastballs in the dirt.
That pitch is hit to the shortstop. DeLorfus makes the play, fires over to Eric Yang in time for the out. Just like that. One down, bottom of the 7th inning. Nice play by DeLorfus.
Good play by DeLorfus, and especially for DeLorfus there, they keep the field so well here.
They do.
And the dirt looks great. I've been out on it. It's phenomenal. It's one of the best in the Great West League. And the grass is as good as well in the infield, and that ball stayed on the ground. An easy one for DeLorfus, textbook play for out number 1.
That'll bring up Brandon De La Guardia. First pitch swinging, that is fouled back. A few innings ago, the sun set here at Nettleton Stadium. The shadows are only really an issue in the first few innings. It's a big tree out in right field that casts a shadow over the dirt, just the dirt, in the first few innings. Everything else is in the sun. 0-1 to De La Guardia. That pitch swung on, hit foul, high, back into the stands. Here it comes down. Thunk. 0-2 the count to Brandon De La Guardia.
And you mentioned the shadows, John, and that's something that we see in several major league ballparks as well, and it's got to be one of the toughest things that a hitter's got to deal with as far as seeing the baseball out of the pitcher's hands. And I think even the tree here, and it'll be interesting to see tomorrow, maybe we can confirm, but I think it's slightly over the pitcher's mound, that shadow, and so the ball's coming out of the shadow and back into the sunlight, and that's super tough for a hitter to deal with early in the game.
0-2, did he go? Yes, says the home plate umpire. Tagged out at the plate by Braden Stutzman, so a strikeout for Peyton Fuller. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th.
And that one, very interesting, John, because of the fact that the umpire did not ask down for help on that.
Nope.
I thought personally, and obviously I'm biased towards the Rogues, but I thought personally he was very close to checking his swing there, if not checking his swing in the first place, but the umpire at home called him out initially.
Tanner Tokunaga, first pitch swinging, fouled it back, 0-1. Tokunaga is 3 for 4 in the day with 3 singles and 2 runs scored. As the game goes on, the shadows creep forward, and actually the batter's box becomes engulfed in shadows. There's
Correct.
a period of sun in between the pitcher's mound and the batter's box where there's sun. Next pitch to Tokunaga outside, 1-1.
And what a great pitch by Fuller there.
It was a great off-speed
I
pitch.
can't believe that was called a ball. I wonder where that missed.
1-1 the count here. Nobody on, 2 outs.
That's the same pitch.
That pitch looked like the same one.
The same exact one.
Called a strike.
Oh, man. Fool me once.
I guess so.
I guess so. Maybe the umpire couldn't see it very well because Peyton threw 2 outstanding off-speed pitches in almost the exact same location. One called a ball, and the next called a strike.
1-2 the count to Tokunaga. Here it is. Swung on, hit well through the left side of the infield. Another hit for Tanner Tokunaga. Continues to be a thorn in the Rogues' side. And that'll bring up Justin Watari.
And that looked like a changeup that was left a little bit up in the zone, and that's what can happen. That's what can happen when you try to guide your changeup, John. And it looked like on that one he was trying to place it right where he wanted it to. And unfortunately, if you're not throwing your changeup as hard as your fastball and your other off-speed pitches that you're throwing, and have create the same arm speed, the hitter can pick up on that.
Knowing it's going to be slower.
Exactly, and knowing it's going to be slower, regardless of that fact, he still put a charge into that one through the left side of the infield.
Failed pickoff attempt at first. Tokunaga back. Justin Watari is 2 for 4 on the day with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Tokunaga at first. Rogues down 4-3 here.
We've seen plenty of hits from both squads thus far in the series, only 2 games, and I think upwards of 30 hits last night combined, and now tonight we're nearing 15 total, so 45 in less than 2 games. And very few of those have been cheap hits.
Certainly not. No, the ball has been hit well here at Nettleton.
Of course, we saw a couple of great plays from both center fielders throughout the past 2 evenings as well.
Tokunaga running on the pitch. It's in the dirt. It's going to get by the catcher, Braden Stutzman. So we'll call that a wild pitch.
I think we call it a wild pitch, but I think that
Tokunaga was going to be in no matter what.
No matter what, John. He got a great jump off Fuller there. Fuller, unfortunately, not varying his timing enough there, mixed in with the pickoffs, and that's something the Rogues staff has been working on with the youngsters. But Braden Stutzman, no shot there either way because of the fact that it bounced all the way to the backstop.
And terrific wheels on Tanner Tokunaga. Probably the fastest guy on the Chico Heat.
Maybe the fastest on both teams as far as I'm concerned.
Very possible.
Roams well in center field.
Yes, he does. Watari takes the 1-1 pitch low, 2-1. Tanner Tokunaga on second, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And it's always an interesting mentality as well, John. When you get a runner on base with 2 outs, Peyton did a great job of getting the first 2 outs, and sometimes pitchers want to change their mentality or to change the way they pitch that they got the first 2 outs. Peyton needs to stick to what he's doing and get that third.
That ball is hit. That's going to be just over the head of Davis DeLorfis. Coming home, running on the throw, or running on the play rather, was Tanner Tokunaga. He scores an RBI single for Justin Watari. And again with 2 outs, the Chico Heat make the Rogues pay. 5-3 now, bottom of the 7th inning.
And you know what? Watari there, 7 for 10 now on the series, and he's been one of those thorns in the Rogues side as well. The top 2 hitters for Chico have been great, and the Rogues got to figure out a way to put those 2 guys away.
And if Watari and Tokunaga weren't enough, Garrett Kelly coming up, came into this game batting .615, already has an RBI double and a walk in this one. Runner on first, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch swinging by Kelly. Foul back, 0-1.
And that one's fouled straight back, so that refers to the fact that he's right on as far as timing is concerned, so I'm not sure that Kelly's going to get the same pitch here twice in a row from Fuller. I'd look for him to go off speed.
And I guess what separates the good hitters from the great ones is they will recognize that and then look off speed next. Peyton Fuller steps off the mound. Watari scampers back to first.
And that's definitely true, John, but it's also very important for a hitter to look for what he knows he can drive the best and hit the hardest.
That pitch by Fuller is low. 1-1 the count.
We did see the off speed there, and now it'll be interesting to see if Peyton goes back to it twice. Me personally, I always go with the rule that if I throw a good off speed that the hitter does not go after, he expects me to go back to the fastball. So now I can throw that off speed for a strike and hopefully throw his timing off.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch by Fuller. Off speed, just high.
He elects to go with the changeup there, and now that's the only issue that I was going to say after the last comment that I made is if you go back-to-back off speeds and they're both balls, what does that set you up for, John?
A fastball.
A fastball, and that's what I would assume most likely Peyton Fuller is going to be throwing here. He's going to need to locate one down to get a ground ball for the Rogues.
Here's the pitch. That one way outside. It is that fastball, but not even close. 3-1 now the count. Some action in the Rogues bullpen. I believe that's Malik Evans down there if my eyesight doesn't deceive me.
And he's throwing to his fellow Campbellsville teammates down there, being our bullpen catcher for the second night in a row. Clay Valenzuela-Reese out of the lineup again for the Rogues, but available to pinch hit.
3-1 the count to Garrett Kelly. The pitch is high and outside, not even close. Fuller mad at himself. So 2 on now, 2 outs. That'll bring up Marcus Wilhite, the first baseman, who had an RBI single back in the 4th inning.
And definitely a little bit of a situation and strategy for Josh Hogan here. As does he elect to go to his bullpen? It's still early enough. The Rogues have 6 outs remaining offensively to get back into this 2-run ball game. But do you dig deeper into the bullpen and throw somebody that you might save is the question. Fuller, just a couple of hits, unfortunately, give up a run, but now he's starting to throw more balls than he had and get behind hitters, which he was not initially doing when he first came in the game.
Here's the pitch. That one is hit high and foul back out of play just over the press box.
Over us. And it looks like the Rogues outfielders here are shifted along with the infield, and the left-handed batter here all shifted towards the right side if you're looking from our perspective. Jaden Hanna deep in the 4-hole, and Davis DeLorfus just behind second base almost.
That pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike, looking for Wilhite to pull. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Rogues, 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Chico Heat. The Heat getting the deciding 2 runs in the 6th and now 7th innings.
And the Rogues, unfortunately, too many free passes today. And that's been something that the Rogues have been doing recently, but it hasn't come back to bite them until now, it appears. But the Rogues used to being the comeback kids here as of late in this young season.
Still plenty of baseball left in this one. Peyton Fuller steps off the mound again. Retreating back to second is Justin Watari, who had the RBI single to drive home Tanner Tokunaga. Garrett Kelly, who walked, is at first.
And some fans yelling at Fuller to throw the ball, and that's something I never quite understood.
Swung on and missed by Wilhite. Great pitch by Peyton Fuller. 1 and 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. 2 on for the Heat.
That's something that I never quite understood, was the whole booing a player for picking off or for stepping off the mound. It's always a strategy. You're always trying to do what's best for you to get out of the inning as a pitcher. And fans seem ignorant sometimes for me when they're booing a pitcher that's doing something that helps with that strategy and to be successful.
1-2 pitch is outside, gets away from Braden Stutzman. That's going to advance the runners. I'm not sure if you can call that a wild pitch or a pass ball. That one's kind of 50-50 because the ball was outside. But I think Braden Stutzman would tell you he needs to make that catch. He brought his glove out to try and stab at it rather than moving his body over in front of the ball. And it gets by him.
And John, I think I have an easy answer for that question to you. I think Braden Stutzman was crossed up on that one, and that's why he just went out to talk to his soon-to-be University of Oregon teammate. They went out there because Peyton Fuller threw an off-speed, and I think you're correct. Braden Stutzman absolutely would have caught that if it would have been the fastball or the non-breaking ball that he was looking for, but it ended up breaking down into the dirt even though it was outside.
2-2 the count. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Peyton Fuller gets out of the jam. 1 run does come across, but it's only 1 run. The Heat strand 2. We hit to the top of the 8th inning. Your Rogues down by 2 runs, looking for some late inning magic. I'd like to thank Jamie Flynn. Peyton Fuller's down on the mound. I'd like to thank Jamie Flynn for joining me on the broadcast. Thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate the insight. Anytime you want to come up, you're more than welcome.
I appreciate it. Go Rogues. Thanks for everybody listening in, all the support. John, great call as always.
We'll be back with the 8th and 9th innings right here on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Rogue Regency Inn & Suites is the official host hotel of the Medford Rogues. Whether you're in Southern Oregon for a quick stay or a longer visit, Rogue Regency has a warm, casually elegant atmosphere with plenty to offer, including Chadwick's, the official sports bar of the Medford Rogues. Make sure you head to the post-game party headquarters, Chadwick's Pub and Sports Bar, at the Rogue Regency Inn & Suites. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Rogues down 2, top of the 8th inning. Leading things off is Johnny De La Cruz. First pitch is a ball. New pitcher for the Chico Heat, that is Zach Sherman. Sherman, a right-hander out of Ramona, California. plays for Arizona. Next pitch to De La Cruz is low, ball 2. Rogues trail 5-3, top of the 8th inning. De La Cruz leading things off, 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. That one catches the outside part of the plate, 2-1. I'd like to thank the Community Relations Coordinator, Sammy Costello, and starting pitcher for the Rogues, Jamie Flynn, for joining me on the broadcast. That pitch is inside to De La Cruz, 3-1 the count. On deck, Josh Berman and Braden Stutzman waiting in the hole. Here's the pitch from Sherman. Swung on, fouled back off the first base side, running the count full to 3-2. Here's the pitch, De La Cruz. Swung on and missed, strike 3. De La Cruz down on strikes. That'll bring up Josh Berman. Berman had an RBI single back in the 4th inning, 1 for 3 on the day. Looking to get a late inning rally started for the Rogues. Here's the sign. Here's the pitch from Sherman. First pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Misses, down and away, 2-0 the count. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com. Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Berman. Swung on, hit just foul off the third base side, right at manager Josh Hogan. So 2-1 the count to Berman. Waiting on deck, Braden Stutzman playing catcher tonight for the Rogues, the first time this season. Here's the 2-1. Called strike, inside corner at the knees. 2-2. 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Rogues down 5-3, no one on. Josh Berman looking to get things started. And that one hits him. So Josh Berman gets on. Doesn't matter how you get on. Just move it along. Pass it down the line. That'll bring up the catcher, Braden Stutzman, who is 1 for 3 on the day. Zach Sherman, the tall righty, on the mound for the Chico Heat to face Braden Stutzman, the left-handed hitter for the Rogues. Josh Berman at first, 1 out, top of the 8th inning in a 2-run ball game. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike. 0-1. Three runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Heat. Sherman looks at Berman at first, now comes home. That is a called strike in there. Fastball to Stutzman. Taking all the way, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Stutzman. That one is low and outside, 1-2. The Heat getting 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Rogues doing all of their damage in the top of the 4th inning. 1-2 the count to Stutzman. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Stutzman doesn't like it, but it is strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Zach Sherman. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Davis DeLorfis. DeLorphis has reached base 3 times today. Just 1 for 2, has 2 walks and a single. Here's the pitch. That is just low, ball 1. Waiting on deck, Jaden Hanna. DeLorphis representing the tying run in this ball game. Sherman looks over at first. Berman waits. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. 2-0 the count. 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. Rogues trail 5-3 here at Nettleton Stadium in Chico, California. Sherman looks at first. Now sets. Comes home. Here's the pitch. That is going to be low. Ball 3. So 3 straight balls to Davis DeLorphis. And Jack Sherman in danger of putting the tying run on board. Here's the pitch. That one is a called strike. DeLorphis taking all the way. So 3 balls, 1 strikes. Josh Berman at first. Davis DeLorphis trying to just pass the baton, keep it moving down the line. Here's the pitch. Swung on, that is hit well to right field, coming over. It's going to be caught by the right fielder, Cole Lemmel, and that's going to do it for the Rogues. So they leave 1. We head to the home half of the 8th inning. Your Rogues are trailing 5-3 against the Chico Heat. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts.
Back on the road with the Rogues.
Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Bottom of the 8th inning, Rogues down 5-3. Peyton Fuller still on the mound for the Rogues. First pitch to Cole Lemmel is outside. 1 balls, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 from Fuller. That ball is high. Check swing, no swings as the field ump. 2-0 the count. Peyton Fuller likes to work fast. Gets the sign from Stutzman. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Brett Walker started this game. Went 3 2/3. Struck out 2. Here's the pitch from Fuller. That one is hit off the first base side foul into the stands. Out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Stratty, the best technology company on the planet. Located right here in Chico.
Cole Lemmel is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, hit twice. And Cole Lemmel actually leads the team in hits. In being hit by pitch. He had 7 coming into this game, so now he has 9. Almost double the next guy. Which is infielder Bailey Zimmer. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So another strikeout for Peyton Fuller. That's his third of the game in just 2 innings of work. And we have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Jake Davison for the DH Jack Rodeville. Now that name may sound familiar to you if you were with us last night on the call. With 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning in a 3-run game, Jake Davison, after fouling off 6 foul balls, gets hit, had some choice words for the catcher at the time, Alex Isola, and the pitcher, Will Floyd. The dugout started yelling at each other. Here's the pitch to Davison. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. The train coming by, going from right to left field out there, just behind the outfield fence in Chico. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-1 the count. So Davison had some choice words for Will Floyd or the catcher. The Rogues took exception to that. Hogan and Lyle came out. The managers for the Chico Heat came out. The dugouts were yelling at each other from the dugout. Nobody left. Warnings were issued to both teams. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 by Davison. And Davison got hit. I mean, Will Floyd really plunked him. It was a fastball right at the hip. It had to have hurt. But in that situation, there's no way that it was intentional. 1-2 the count to Davison. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit well, just foul though, off the third base side. Berman gave it a good run, but it was foul by the time he got to it. So Davison will walk back. Count is still 1-2. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Davison back in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Fuller. Swung on and missed. It gets in the dirt, but Braden Stutzman's there. Fires it over to the first baseman, Eric Yang, in time. Back-to-back strikeouts for Peyton Fuller here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, Grant Heisinger. And after the choice words from Davison last night, I'm sure that had to feel good for the Medford Rogues, getting Davison to swing at strike 3. So Grant Heisinger, who is 0 for 4 on the day, steps up. First pitch swinging, fouled back off the third base side. 0-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Your Rogues trailing 5-3 here against the Chico Heat. Here's the pitch from Fuller. That one is down, ball 1. Here's the next pitch from Peyton Fuller. 1-1 the count. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. So 1-2 the count to Grant Heisinger. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Your Rogues trailing by 2. Peyton Fuller on the mound for your Rogues. Heisinger steps in. Here's the pitch. That ball's low. 2-2 the count. Fuller gets the sign from Stutzman. 2-2 the count to Heisinger. Here's the pitch. That one high and outside, and Heisinger runs the count full. Here's the count, or here's the pitch from Fuller. That one is high. So Heisinger earns himself a walk. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Joe Bath.
Stepping up to the plate for Chico, catcher number 10, Joe Bath.
First pitch to Joe Bath. Bath showing bunt. Pulls back. It's outside. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Runner on first for the Rogues. Pickoff move by Fuller as Heisinger was stepping off the bag to take his lead. Great idea by Fuller, but Heisinger back in time. One and 0 the count to Joe Bath. Here's the pitch. Just outside, 2-0 the count. Two and 0 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, that's hit well. The shortstop, DeLorfis, makes a great play in short. Gloves it, spins around. He's stumbling, makes the play, fires it over to Hanna, covering the bag. They get the force out. What a great play by Davis DeLorfis. So the Heat strand a runner in the bottom of the 8th inning. We head to the final frame. Your Rogues are trailing 5-3, looking for some magic. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back with the 9th inning right after this. Welcome back to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Top of the 9th inning, your Rogues are trailing by 2 by a score of 5-3. Up for your Rogues, Jaden Hanna, Eric Yang, and Alex Isola, the 2-3-4 hitters. First pitch to Hanna is a called strike, 0-1. Here's the pitch from Hanna, or to Hanna, excuse me. That ball is high. 1-1 the count. 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Rogues. 5 runs on 10 hits for the Heat. No errors. 1-1 to Hanna. Here's the pitch. That one's high and outside. 2-1. Sherman on the mound for the Heat. That ball is in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate, evening the count 2 apiece. Next pitch is outside, 3-2 the count. So Jaden Hanna has earned himself a full count to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Rogues down by 2, looking for something. Big bats coming up for the Rogues. Hanna, then Yang, and then Isola. And if anyone gets on, Connor Lowry. That pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Hanna way behind that one. And we have 1 out in the top of the 9th inning.
First baseman, number 36, Eric Yang.
So Eric Yang up at the plate. Right-handed batter looks at a first pitch that is a called strike on the inside part of the plate, and I mean inside. Caught something. It's a strike to Eric Yang, who is 1 for 4 on the day. 1 for 3 on the day, excuse me. Here's the pitch. That one is low. 1 balls, 1 strikes. And I apologize. I was actually looking at the wrong line. Eric Yang is 0 for 3 with a walk today. 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Pitch swung on, hit softly to the second baseman, Watari. Watari fires over to first to Wilhite, and just like that, the Rogues are down to their final out. That'll bring up Alex Isola, who has a double, a run, and a walk in this one.
Designated hitter number 24, Alex Isola.
Here's the first pitch. That one is inside to Isola. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Rogues looking to just get a man on for Connor Lowry. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. 2-0 the count. Lowry waiting on deck. In the hole, Jake Helwig, who has an RBI in this game. Here's the pitch to Isola. That's a called strike. It's low, but it is a called strike. That pitch is low to Isola, so 3 balls, 1 strike to Alex Isola. Connor Lowry on deck. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Lowry, the tying run, on deck. Here's the pitch to Isola. That one is just catches the part of the plate. I'm not sure what part. It looked low, it looked inside, but it's a called strike by the home plate ump. Isola was ready to toss that bat into the dugout and walk to first, but instead it's a full count. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning for Isola. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit foul off the first base side. Hit hard, but out of play. Sherman sets. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on, hit softly. Barehanded catch by Zach Sherman to get Isola, and that is the ball game. No late magic for the Rogues in this one. They fall to the Chico Heat by a score of 5-3. Final box score: 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Chico Heat. We are all tied 1-1 in this best-of-3 series. We are back tomorrow here at Nettleton Stadium. Same time, 7:05 p.m. Same channel, MedfordRogues.com. Presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:55 pregame show, 7:05 p.m. first pitch. Until then, Rogue Nation, sleep well. We will see you tomorrow night.
Rogue Nation, thanks for listening to Medford Rogues Baseball. Listen to the Rogues all season long, live on MedfordRogues.com.